Stand up! New York Giants fans. We're just talking to LPG. Was literally backstage. And then his phone started to conk out and he was having a software update. So he's going to be back in. I'm thinking he had to restart his phone. He'll be back in momentarily, probably in 10 minutes or so. He was getting a tattoo. That's why we were originally supposed to start at 8. He was showing me his tattoo and then his phone conked out. So I'm sure he'll show you his tattoo when he pops on. But obviously he was at the game last week. Definitely want to get his perspective. Probably the most famous New York Giants fan there is. So really excited to get an opportunity to talk to LPG. Of course, he's been on the channel before. Great guy. Met him in person a couple of times. So looking forward to getting to talk to him, get to talk to you guys. I know, like me, a lot of you guys have had this game on your mind for the last, 7 days since the New York Giants pulled up a monumental upset against the Tennessee Titans. And this week for me, guys, has felt like the longest week I've had as a human in a very long time. Because when you win, it stretches out the week, at least mentally, at least for me. Because all I'm doing on Monday I celebrated. Let's be real. Monday, I kicked back, relaxed, enjoyed the show, had a couple of cocktails. Tuesday was still celebrating a bit. And then Wednesday, I turned my sights to the Carolina Panthers. And this week has dragged. Tomorrow, we're back. Week number 2, New York Giants, Carolina Panthers. We're going to talk about that game. We're going to recap the game with LPG. Of course, I'm going to talk to you guys like I always do throughout the stream. Hope you guys are having a great night. Hope you guys are as excited as I am. We're going to be live on the channel tomorrow. Obviously, calling the game we'll be live at 12:30. So really looking forward to calling the game with all you guys. Thank you to everybody for being here. Thank you guys for all the support you guys always show on the channel. But let's say hello to a couple people in the chat. Nona in the chat, Dire Giants fan in the chat, amazing guy in the chat, Muhammad in the chat, Josh in the chat, David L in the chat, sports influencer in the chat. What's going on, Slurpee, man? Thanks for popping in. Roman in the chat. We're going to win tomorrow. Donovan in the chat, man. Thanks for popping in. VT Jake says 16 hours, 11 minutes. He's crying his eyes out. He can't take it. He can't take it anymore. What's going on, Brian Dable? Brian freaking Dable. The balls on this guy last week. He's in the chat. You went for 2. Good for you. Good for you, man. What's going on, Taco? Word's the man. Great to see him. Chris is the man. Word. Thank you to everybody for being here. Little T says, let's go, man. Here we're going to win. Brian Dables, how are you? I'm doing good, man. I've been thinking about the game all day. I've been thinking about the game, like I said, all week. So I'm really amped up for tomorrow. It's the most excited I've been for a Giants game in a very long time. Very long time. To get the opportunity to start 1-0. And I know a lot of people are saying, oh, calm down, Chris. We're going to stink. And maybe we will. But I'm going to have some fun this year. I'm going to have some fun with this team. They shocked the world week 1 against the Titans, and hopefully they can shock the world again week 2. And Sports Influencer, man, thank you for being a member, buddy. Says, after all the years of watching you, it still doesn't get old. Stand up. It might not get old for you, Slurpee. And I know you're young. When you get a wife, when you get a girlfriend, and you may have a girlfriend, I don't know if you do, but when you get married, it's going to get old for your wife. I've heard several husbands in my chats tell me that they've gotten divorces because of that word. Their wives hear it. They start having nightmares at night. They can't stand it. So I apologize in advance if you have marriage troubles due to the fact that I have an obnoxious voice when I get excited about the New York Giants. But I can't help it. I can't contain it. Appreciate all you guys for all the support you always show. And Slurpee, you're the man. Richard Rodriguez, he says, make or break game 2-0, then getting healthy is key. Yeah, I mean, listen, I thought they made the right decision. I thought that excited and nervous for sure, man. I thought they made the right decision in terms of holding out Kayvon Thibodeau this week. If he wasn't completely 100%, you don't throw him out there. It sounds like there's a good possibility he'll be out there Monday night against Dallas, but I don't want to rush him back. We're going to talk about Flott, too, because to me, that's the biggest storyline that came out today. Cordell Flott is going to be getting the start on the outside. Of course, Aaron Robinson, in typical New York Giants fashion, had his appendix removed. As if the New York Giants couldn't come up with another way to have an injury. He had his friggin' appendix removed. Are you kidding me? So we don't know how long he's going to be out. And now Cordell Flott's going to get the start on the outside. That was announced today. I'm assuming he's going to be paired up against Robbie Anderson. And that should be an interesting matchup. I'll talk about that with you guys and how I think the New York Giants may defend. But that's obviously, I think, a major concern going into this game. I'm excited to see Flott, though, the rookie. And you hope that he can be a big piece of the future for this team. So we get to see the third-round rookie. MY Giants 26 says, what's up, Chris? Let's go. Week 2, 2-0. Let's go is right. And Chris says, Tana living up to his name, hosting the Giants Game Eve show. Yeah, man. Listen, I wasn't going to miss this, especially once LPG was in the house now. Told me he was going to come on tonight. I've met him a couple of times. Great guy. And I mean, listen, let's start off by saying this, LPG, and thank you so much for coming on. Let's start off by saying this. How are you not? Every year, I see it on Twitter, the New York Giants ask Giant fans to appoint the Giants fan of the year, and every single person under the post writes at license plate guy. What is going on?
All right. First off, thank you so much for saying that. And of course, I love being on this show. Honestly, we've met a couple of times. We've done some shows together, and you know, I will go on any podcast, any interview, any whatever with knowledgeable fans. You're like extremely knowledgeable, bro. So look, I appreciate that love, and I appreciate it more when underneath the post is license plate guys, license plate guy. I love all that. I really do. It's great. I'm going to tell you a story that I don't tell very often.
Yeah.
How do you like that?
I can't wait.
I'm going to take you back to 2009.
Okay.
Okay. It's 2009, beginning of 2010, when I've already been in my, oh my God, guy, license plate guy's becoming a thing. I was in the video in 2007. Shitting me. All right, no.
Yeah, you're good.
I've been in the video. All of it. I have become friends with some of the management. Everything. Then I see that the Giants are opening up, the new stadium, and they're gonna put fans on the tickets. So I'm like, are you shitting me? I'm like, how? Now the kid comes out in me. And when I say the kid comes out of me, I mean, how cool would that be from my father?
Right.
To see his son on a ticket when my dad used to pay a nickel at the Polo Grounds to get in.
Right.
So I put my hat in the ring, and I get a call from the Giants, and the guy that called me, and I'm not gonna, he still works for them, so I'm not gonna. Basically, I'm waiting for him to leave. Maybe I'll get some love, but anyway, I won't tell you who it is. And he says I can't do anything without the okay from another guy that's still there. Right. I can't believe I'm telling this story, man. I haven't told this story in like 10 years. So I get the guy's boss to call me, and he basically says, Joe, you're just too well known. And I liked it at first, like, oh, yo, that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to be acknowledged like that. But then I'm not an idiot. I know that the rabbi and the priest and the girl with one leg and the army sergeant, I know all of them are getting on tickets. I'm cool with all of that, like I know that game. I could play that game. But after it came out, and I got, I got to thinking, like, that's the reason why I wasn't on a ticket? That?
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I wasn't on a ticket. Ever since then, it's been the same old, same old. I'm too well known. We don't believe in number one fans. On and on and on and on. And let's fast forward to this year. Hats off to freaking Sam Prince, believe it or not, because I don't care how he got there. I don't give a shit. Good for Sam. I feel bad for Sam. He had to think about what he went through to get there.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
So, so they're acknowledging Sam right now, and I'm cool with that.
Right.
I actually am very cool with it. So to answer your question, I don't know why, goddammit.
Wow, but LPG's the man. Great guy. We're going to start with game one. I'm just going to answer a couple of these. We're going to start with week one because you were there. You get the first-hand experience. Dave, man, thank you very much, man. What receivers stand up for the Giants this week? That's a great question because obviously Kadarius Toney, and we'll talk about that now. Kadarius Toney, I think he's probably going to play if I had to guess. I don't know that back, but if I had to guess, I think he's probably going to play.
Freaking playing, and he's going to get targeted a million times. He's going to have
So you don't think he'll be limited at all in this game? You think you don't like
first touchdown of the year this game?
So you're under the impression Tony's getting used and abused this week. He's
first touchdown of the guy's career coming up.
tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
All right. That's a hot take. I like it because
And it's the first one of the game.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm gonna give you another name. In case Kadarius Toney doesn't get a full allotment of touches in this game due to the fact that maybe he's a little dinged up, I do think he's going to play. I just don't know if he's going to run 60 routes or be on the field for 60 offensive plays. We'll see. An unsung guy.
James.
Who looked pretty good week 1. Richie James.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say James. All right, so
he looked good.
I am not – look, Giant fans have the uncanny ability guilty as charged, to look at the guy that's playing as that. He's the guy.
Yeah.
Richie James is not the guy.
No, he's not the guy.
No. I'm just saying he's not the guy.
Yeah.
So do I think? I mean, I look at Richie James and I think of Corey Washington, Julian Talley, Dwayne Harris. Or Dwayne Harris was pretty damn good at returning. So I look at actually a damn good receiver too. I look at him as he could be productive. He better be. He's number 1 receiver.
I'll tell you what though, Joe, I thought he looked really good in the punt return game, which is going to be his primary role when we're completely healthy and Tony's out there. He flipped the field a couple of times. He had a big punt return at the end of that game. He looked good.
He did. He also put one on the ground, right?
He did drop a pass. It was
all right. So I mean, I'm sorry, he didn't fumble. He just dropped the pass out. Now look, I'm not a James hater. He's on the Giants. You know me. Next man up, whoever it is, let's go. I believe maybe I'm having a mental block in my head because I still don't understand why someone like, oh shoot, I thought that was his jersey. Like a Bachman is not there, and maybe I can't get that out of my head, so I'm not giving Richie James the credit he deserves.
You were a Bachman guy. You wanted Bachman.
I was a big Bachman guy 2 years ago, and last year, and then this year led the NFL in the preseason. But I was like, oh my God, the guy's gonna make the 53. He hasn't made the 53, and then we get rid of the double T, and I'm like, all right. So look, I am all for Richie James. I'm down with you with he's gonna have a big game. He better. I do think Kadarius Toney is going to be used all over the place, and the Giants are going to score. They're going to march down the goddamn field again. Barkley's going to have 50-something yards in the first freaking quarter, and Tony's going to be in the end zone. I'm telling you, I'm so fired up, bro, after week 1.
Dude, it's the first time we've started 1-0 since 310 BC. It's been that long. It's been that long. You have to go back to biblical times for the first time the Giants started 1-0. So,
dude, it's funny you said that. I was doing a cameo today. Somebody asked for a cameo. I did a cameo, and I'm like, dude, I'm in such a good mood. We're 1-0, and I'm like, 1-0. I'm like, when was the last time I said 1-0? Look, I went off this week on the Cowboys. I went off on the even though the Eagles won, I went off the Eagles, but I tore apart the Cowboys like. I'm talking my shit where I can talk my shit.
You got an opportunity, man. And you look at our schedule now, like you said, Dak goes down. You look at the Panthers. I think this was a game going into the year, even before week 1, we thought we could win. Then you got the Bears week 4. So you're like, we could maybe rack together some wins. But I keep stressing 1 week at a time. Let's not even worry about week 3. We got, I think, a pretty tough Carolina team. And we'll talk about it throughout the stream, some of the things, the interesting matchups throughout the game. But I really want to go over your week 1 experience going to the game.
Yeah.
Before I ask you that, we'll go over Jeremiah. It says, stand up, 2 legends watching from Alaska on the big screen with the lake and the mountains.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, Jeremiah's awesome.
That's it's probably light as hell out there, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because they got that 24-hour thing, right, where it's light.
I love it. Yeah, I love it.
But, yeah, let's start with obviously, if you guys – I mean, if you're a Giants fan, you must know who LPG is. But in case you don't, he basically sits in the front row at every game. And when I say every game, I don't mean just Giants home games. I mean, he's going to London. He goes to every single game. So you sat front row, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I did.
Week 1 against the Tennessee Titans. Just tell me about your overall experience, the fan experience. What was it? What was the atmosphere in terms of Giants fans at the stadium?
Yeah, no doubt. Thanks for saying that. Now, let's clear up one thing. I own front row at Giant Stadium at MetLife. I don't sit in them. I sell them. And it affords me at least 2 or 3 of the away games.
Okay.
So and then I'll wind up buying a ticket or getting one I actually get one from a player, but I pay for them. and I'll get to go to the game, but I don't sit front row at home game. I don't need anybody, selling me out on he's this liar. But I haven't missed a front row away game in my God, in a long time. I mean, this is my 22nd year, and I think I started maybe 15 or 16 years into it sitting front row. So first of all, this is one of my favorite games because it's 9/11.
Right.
And I want the flyover, and I want the experience, and I want to see the veterans come out, and I want them hold the flag. I want all of that experience. I love it. I was there for cleanup. It means a lot to me. So 9/11 is like really big to me. And I always believe that you either know someone that perished or you know someone that knows someone that died.
Yep.
So it's like a big thing to me. So this is my game. I wear my my Twin Towers New York Giants jersey, and it's a great experience. So when a schedule comes out, I believe that a ton of New York Giant fans scheduled this game. I believe they wanted to go for some hot chicken. I believe they wanted to go into town. I believe this was a big game to choose for Giant fans. I believe they would have done the Packers in Green Bay, except it's in London. So this was a big game.
Right.
It's such a good experience, man. If you're a Giants fan and you don't go to away games, pick one, go with a buddy, go with family. I got to tell you, bro, it's a lot of fun, especially when
do you prefer the experience on the road as opposed to home?
Every goddamn time. It's not even a close call. And I don't know why. I don't know how I became that way. I think it's meeting fans the night before for dinner at some restaurant or some place we could chill out. I believe that it's when the Giants win, the whole entire section behind, all you hear is "Let's go, Giant." It becomes like a home game anyway. 5,000 fans in attendance probably sound larger than 80,000 at home. It's just a great experience to go to an away game. But unfortunately, most of the times, you're like this game, it was happened to be a win and it was great. Now look, first half started, halftime, I'm like, freaking Giants, goddamn season again. So, you start thinking all of these crazy things. And then
we were all like that. Let's be real. Everybody was like that. We were down 13-0. We couldn't move the ball.
Yeah, you started saying same old Giants, but let's give them some time. Let's give the new regime, everything we say.
Right.
And then the second half comes out, and I'm like, wait a minute here. Is this real life? Are we in real life right now? So then they, obviously they're marching down. We've seen this book. We've read this cover a million times. We've seen this movie. Here they come, lining up for a field goal. Game ends in tragedy. Giants are 0-1 again, and wide left. And I'm like, there's no way that
the first thing I was thinking in my head, and I was going bananas when it happened, but in the back of my head, I'm like, Chris, did you just react way too quickly? Because the first thing you think about, where's the flags? Where's the flags? Where's the?
Oh, no, you're a diehard Giants fan if you immediately thought that. Okay, you can't.
What happened last year with Dexter?
Yeah, you cannot. Giant fans are so funny because if I was home, I would look at my TV and I'd be like, the kick goes wide. Wait. You can't go running around the house. You can't. You got to wait like 5 minutes. But the kick goes wide, and I'm like, there's no way that this new coach, with the balls the size of basketballs, goes for it immediately, even though the players said, "Yeah, let's do it." He's still a coach. He still makes a decision.
Yeah, of course.
And he lets, Kafka call the play that was dynamic in Buffalo. He gets it to the end. I mean, everything was great. And to top it off, I don't miss a lot of work, so I couldn't get a flight. And my buddy was driving, so I'm going to take this 13-hour drive. And I'm like, I don't even give a crap. And then I checked Kayak real quick, and there was one flight left, and I got on that too. So it was a great experience, bro. It was a great experience.
And from what I heard, I had some subscribers that were at the game that came into my stream after, and they said there was a lot of Giants fans there for like a road game. Like,
so again, you have to understand, I really believe that was a circled game
That
for
was
a
like
lot
one
of Giant fans. And
yeah.
then when the Giants start winning, this wasn't a game where the opposing fans left. Most of the time, especially behind the Giants bench, they're like, screw this. I'm going to watch them celebrate and F us off from the bench up to the crowd.
Right.
So normally Giants fans just happen to come down. And all of a sudden, a section with 50 are now a section of 300.
Right. Right.
But yes, tons and tons and tons of Giant fans.
Yeah, that's what I heard, and I wish I could be there. I'm going to the game against the Bears, so hopefully I see you when I go there. Week number 4, definitely meet up before the game. But
I'm gonna get your ass to an away game. I am.
You hold me to it. I'm definitely going. Definitely going to a road game. We'll talk about it. Just gonna get to a couple more of these, and then I want to really like recap the game and talk about some of the things that took place, and then dive into this week. Big Smooth says, love you both. All the best, guys. I got the Giants 2-0 on my mind. I think we all got the Giants 2-0 on mine. And
Big Smooth is 1,000% correct.
Yeah, and LPG, I said at the top of the stream right before you popped in, this week for me, I don't know how it felt for you. It felt like 3 weeks for me in a good way because you're happy. You're excited. At the same time, by Wednesday, I'm thinking about is tomorrow.
Well, come on. What have we had in the past? We've had 0-1 and 0 whatever. First of all, let someone else be. Oh, have you met my friend Owen? But I'm so freaking happy that I didn't. Monday came, Tuesday came, Wednesday came. I was still on a high. I really was. I was still.
I think we all were.
Right. I was still talking shit. It's Saturday. I'm still talking crap. I don't care.
Enjoy
because don't forget it. I get to do the Duncan thing, and it's so much better after a win. It's not even funny.
Yeah, it's awesome, man. And then
it's so great.
26 says, LPG, you better go effing crazy tomorrow. Energy high. Let's talk about Wink. You saw the video. I freaking loved it because what I loved most about it, and he's right, by the way, like New York Giants, and you're at all the games, so New York Giants fans in recent history, probably due to the fact the team's been as bad as they've been, have the reputation of not being the loudest, boisterous fan base. What I loved what Wink said, it makes the fans feel like they're a part of the team and a part of getting this team back to where they need it to be. When I heard him say that, I was jacked up, and I'm sure you were as well. So what's your take on that? And do you think it could inspire the fans at all tomorrow to potentially, create some noise and maybe disrupt Baker a bit?
Yeah, I mean, come on. Wink isn't the first coach or player that have tried to get the Giant fans up and about. I mean, I've heard that speech a million times. But guess what? It hit different coming from Wink. It just felt different coming from a 1-0 coach, not 0-3. And come on, guys, we need you for our first victory. It just hit different.
Yeah,
everything hit different. And you said something pretty good right there. You were like, it gets the crowd going. Look, and they become part of it. I'm a big chant guy.
Every time we've talked on this channel,
I don't know why. Maybe because of all the games I go to on the road and I hear "Go Pack Go" with 90,000, or I listen to the 75,000 Eagle fans singing that shitty song, or I in Minnesota and they're Skol, and people are like, oh, you don't want to be like the Jets, J-E. Yeah, actually I do. I do want to be like them.
I'm with you.
I do want 80,000 people doing the same thing.
Yeah.
And I pushed that so much. I wrote letters. I talked to the people I know in management. I talked to freaking Mara on the road. And then them sons of guns are going to come out with this big blue chant and not even say LPG, way to go. Not even a private message.
I just hope they make noise on Sunday. I hope it disrupts.
Wait, I want to talk about that. So, don't forget, I'm older than most of you fans. Like, I'm not dead yet, but I'm freaking older. So I was around for the older crowd saying, sit down in front.
Yeah.
You can't use that. You can't use that narrative anymore, bro. I'm sure it happens in some sections, but it happens in every stadium.
Right.
But those old folks went out years ago. I believe all you fans out there, stop using that as a Giant thing. Right. That happens to be just a person thing.
Yeah.
So don't cause a fight. Don't be an ass. Don't be rude about it. Just turn around and be like, I'm sorry. I'm staying up. I'm staying up right now. It's third down. Get up.
Yeah.
Like, you could handle things a little differently.
You don't have to be obnoxious, but at the
You
same
do
time,
not.
you're a paying customer. You're there to enjoy the game.
I'm getting up.
Third down, your team needs to stop. If you're not on 3rd and 3, big play in the game, if you are not out of your seat, you shouldn't be at the game.
Look, unless
now there's exceptions. Don't get me wrong.
Below zero temperature.
Yeah.
Somebody in a wheelchair. I mean, I don't know. There's a lot of reasons why you wouldn't get up, but I'm sorry, like, get up.
Yeah, I'm with you, and I hope tomorrow the fans make an impact. And he got me.
By the way, I have no idea why this creeped into my head. I went with a friend of mine who was in a wheelchair at the time and lifted his ass up on third down, not in a chair, but I lifted his ass. I'm like, you're getting up, bro. You're getting up. I did. He was like, you're crazy.
And Mighty Mango, man, thank you very much. Says, hello, Chris. Go Big Blue. Mango, good to see you, man. Hope you're doing well. Tommy B says, we're going to be the only 2-0 team in the NFC East.
I freaking love that talk. What the hell is wrong with us? We're the Giants, probably going to get 4 or 5 wins at the beginning of the season, and we're like, we're 2-0, the only team in the NFL, God damn it.
I remember when we did the show with Bobby, and you know, everybody calls you the ultimate homer when it comes to the Giants, and even you had the Giants with a losing record this year. You had us at 8-9.
8-9. I wanted 8 wins. Yep.
Yeah, and I had us at 7-10. So, has your opinion off of week 1? Have you changed at all in terms of your outlook for the season?
No. I'm gonna stick and see what it's a marathon. I pray to God that first time in my life, maybe first time ever, that they had the wins to what I thought they would have. So right. No, I'm going to stick to it. I don't give a crap if I'm wrong. So I'm going to stick with 8. I think 8 is nice, but oh my God, could you imagine if I was wrong and they get 9 and they win a division or something? Maybe 10 wins it. I don't know. It's an ugly division now. I don't think Philly is going to be good, but let's keep going.
Wow, you don't think Philly's going to be good? That's a hot take because most people like Philly this year.
Come on, it couldn't even stop the Lions. I shouldn't say that. We play them. So like, I don't know. I think they should have lost that game. I was rooting for them, obviously, heavily. I don't think Jalen Hurts is the real deal. I chalk him up there like Daniel Jones. They should talk about him in Philly like half the fan base talks about Jones. I think he stinks.
I don't disagree with you. I think he's a quarterback.
Stinks.
I don't think he's the long-term answer. Let's put it that way.
Nope.
And Tommy, I hope you're right. For that to happen, not only do the New York Giants have to win, the Eagles have to lose to the Vikings, which I could definitely see. And Washington needs to lose to who's Washington playing? I did my picks today. I can't remember.
Yeah, I saw that too. I forgot who they're playing.
The Lions. They're
playing the Lions
in Detroit. So it could happen.
No. Detroit's first home game. They're gonna win. They're gonna win. Actually, they're gonna win big.
I hope you're right, man.
You send me a tweet on Monday when you come to your senses after Giants are 2-0, and you go, "Oh my God, I almost forgot." FYI, license plate guy, you nailed that.
I'm gonna give you credit, man.
Honestly, it's gonna be like they're gonna get in the high 20s, if not 30s. I'm gonna go 27. I'm gonna go 27-14.
Lions?
Yeah.
I picked the Lions today too. I just don't think it'll be a blowout, but I had them winning. I had them winning by about a field goal. I think it'll be a close game, but I got the Lions winning too. Sam, man, what's going on? He says LPG. How is Nissan Stadium?
Oh, Nissan's. I mean, come on, and Nissan. How is the stadium in a hole? It's not bad. It was good food. There was good people, nice people. Tenants. They don't get all rowdy. I don't know. I liked it. I don't go there very often, but when I go, I like it.
Yeah, that's one of the cities that I've wanted to go to because people have told me it's a good city to visit. So if there was a
come on, bro,
I should have went.
Yeah, Hattie B's. We had about 15 to 17 Giant fans, besides the people that I didn't know. Right. And then we went out afterwards, and it's just.
I'm gonna tell you what. I'm gonna make you this promise. I don't know if it'll happen this year, but if it doesn't happen this year, next year I'm definitely going to a road game with you. 100%. It's gonna happen.
It's just a lot of fun, man. Now look, it gets very expensive. You have to get your ticket. You have to secure. Let's say you chose Baltimore or Washington, where you could drive. In that case, you wouldn't need a hotel room, but I used to stay at the Giants team hotel. I can't afford the Giants. It's why am I staying at the Giants team hotel when I can stay at a Holiday Inn, get freaking breakfast, and drive over to the team hotel?
Right. Right.
By the way,
Yeah.
can you explain that to me?
What?
Why is it that the most expensive hotels you don't get breakfast and you pay for parking?
That's a great question.
But I could stay at a Holiday Inn, get myself one of them freaking waffle makers, get 5 freaking waffles for breakfast, and go out to my car and drive to the stadium.
Yeah.
Tell me why. I want to know why.
Because they could get it. That's why.
Yeah, you're 100% correct.
At the end of the day, that's the reason.
You're 100% correct. And everybody's with a suit and tie staying over there. You're right.
Yeah, they don't care. They'll piss away money. They don't care. Yeah, exactly. John, man, thank you very much. Says, sup, guys? Let's go Giants. Going to the game tomorrow. We'll get loud for our defense tomorrow. By the way, LPG, saw your Twitter. Any chance we bring OBJ home? Of course, that was a big story yesterday because
all right, so
responded to it.
Yeah, so look, I talk to him on a weekly. I don't want
very good friends.
So I talk to him. I like him as a person. Like, he is a very giving guy. He did some stupid things here. We've had it out with that, like friend to friend. Like, hey, you should have never done that interview. You're an idiot. Like, I don't care about the pissing in the end zone. I don't care about the net. I don't care about all that stuff. Is in game, competition. Dumb, but you do you.
Right.
The interview and the talking about Eli, stupid, bro. Stupid.
Yeah.
Given all that, the guy wants to come back here.
Yeah.
But he also knows this could be his last contract, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. What would you do? What would you do if you had an opportunity to go back to the franchise that drafted you? Don't worry about the reasons why you left. You have a chance to go back. Right. The other guys, Gettleman's not here. You have a chance to go back to where people love you, most people,
right? Or
to go finish out your contract, catching balls from Rodgers. He was brought up, or go back to the Rams. They were brought up, and sign a multi-year deal. First of all, he wouldn't get a multi-year deal here.
I don't think he's going to get a multi-year deal anywhere.
Yeah, well, because he's got to prove himself. You're right. Now, hold on. The only reason why he would get a multi-year deal is because when I don't know all the rules, but over the years I thought I do. After the first game, you sign a contract. Your contract is not guaranteed, right. So that's why a lot of players are signed after week 1, and not before that, because then you could cut them and doesn't count towards this. And you don't have to pay him that. There's a whole bunch of things. So I don't know. Now he probably wouldn't come back till November, right? You would assume maybe late October. No, maybe late October. Whatever. Let's say November. Okay, so he comes back to the Giants for the playoff push. But the
thing is, LPG, and I definitely think OBJ would come back here under the right circumstances. I just don't know if the Giants have the right circumstances right now because we have no cap.
They don't have the right circumstances. It's wishful thinking.
And the other thing, and I know you're friends with OBJ, and I'd like him to come back at the end of the day. I think things ended ugly. There were things about him I didn't necessarily like. I think some of the things, like you said, were definitely his fault. I probably, as a fan, I'll be the first to say, was probably a little bit over the top with some of my criticisms of OBJ. But I'd like him to come back, to be honest with you. I think he wants to be a New York Giant. You have to think he's matured as a player. I'd be completely open to the fact. But the fact of the matter is, if you're OBJ, if you're his agent, knowing that you're probably only going to get a 1-year deal. First off, like you said, we don't have the money right now. But even if we did, knowing he's only going to get a 1-year deal.
Where can I get a ring? Where can I get a ring? Where can I get a ring? Yeah.
Or where can you go to a situation where they can make you look like the Rams did?
Yeah.
The Giants, he's not going to look like he did with the Rams.
Hey, let me tell you something. That last comment you just said, actually, I can't even say you're wrong because you're not, because he went to obviously a Super Bowl team, great quarterback, and got it done. Great system. But don't tell me that if OBJ didn't freaking get hurt, he wouldn't have been MVP of that freaking game.
Oh, he was incredible.
He was in some kind of freaking different kind of phase. And something else I want to go back to what you said real quick, and that was some things were his fault, and I didn't like what he some things that he did. I agree with you. However, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
When he pissed in the end zone in Philly,
Yeah.
Stupid. Like, why do don't embarrass us like that. Dumb. Let me ask you a question. Would you still have the same disgust? And it was disgusting. Don't get me wrong. Would you have the same disgust if the Giants were a winning team, or would you have more laughed it off?
No. Yeah, listen, I agree with you.
I think you're a product of how bad you are, and you son of a bitch. You're the loudest, most obnoxious person on this team. You're why we're losing.
It's a good point. And no, I never thought he was the reason we were losing, but I think as a fan base, yeah. It's the same thing with the stadium. I say it all the time. And I know you're not a big fan of the stadium, the way they built it. But let's be real. If the New York Giants were winning Super Bowls, we wouldn't give a crap where they played. They could play in a sandlot if they're winning Super Bowls.
It would be the #1 stadium in the league. I agree with you, 100%.
So I agree with you. I think as fans, when you're upset and you're going through dark times, you nitpick things. And
100%. Yeah.
So I agree with you. Nelson. He says, "How will a trip to London feel like for you, LPG? 4 weeks, you're going to London."
I'm going to tell you right now, my man. It's going to feel freaking great. You want to know why?
Why?
Can anybody tell me why? I'll give you 2 reasons. I'll give you 2 reasons why. You ready?
Go ahead.
They've never lost in London.
That's true.
They've gone to the playoffs every time they went to London.
That's also true. Are you predicting the playoffs now?
I'm just telling you I'm going to London.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that game. Obviously, I got to get up at like 7 a.m. to watch it, but I'm looking forward to it.
I'll hopefully be used to the time when I get there. Definitely looking forward to it. I had a blast it was raining, but I had a blast at the Miami game, and I had even a better time at the Charger game.
Yeah.
Rams.
The
better time at the Rams game because I was friendly with Landon and I got to hang out with him in London. So it was cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I got to circle back to a player, though, on this current team that we have not talked about yet. There's a couple of players we got to talk about from that first game. First player we got to talk about, you kind of mentioned him earlier, Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
And this is a guy, you see it on Twitter. We're both on Twitter all the time. You see how this fan base, what they've said about him for the last couple of years. He's soft. He dances too much. He's overrated. Yada, yada, yada. This is a guy that sustained a ton of injuries since he's been in the NFL. It's a contact sport. Injuries happen. Tore his ACL. Wasn't the same player last year. I think a lot of it was mental, right? He's still recovering from the injuries. Back on the football field. Saquon Barkley, in my opinion, based off what I saw week 1, based off the run defense he was going up against, is not just back to 2018. He's better. That's how impressed I was with Saquon Barkley week 1. And I don't even know, maybe some of it has to do with the scheme because there were some interesting numbers that I saw that came out that with the pre-snap motion, he was really successful when they used motion. He was averaging 13 yards a carry. So maybe some of the credit goes to Kafka and Dable. But I saw an explosion we have not seen since 2018. He was running physical, and he is running motivated. Saquon Barkley's back. This offense is going to revolve around Saquon Barkley.
He's a freaking beast. He's always been a freak of nature. He's gotten the injury bug. That's on him or the field or the accident with the ankle. There's nothing you could do about that. But I bought into all of his bullshit on the offseason. Keep the same energy. I don't care about any motherfuckers out there. I brought into everything he said, and I was pumped for this season. I thought he was. What did I say? I think I've been on some kick that he would have over 2,000 all-purpose yards.
Yeah, I said the same thing.
And I'm sticking with it. I think he's going to continue to go ballistic. And one of my biggest things online is, the haters are always going to have their drafts ready for you. They're nice tweets that are sitting in the draft ready to send to you when something bad happens. I just hope they aren't going to be able to use them because I really believe that Barkley is going to go off. And at the end of the day, I have a question for you. Is that good news or bad news for us?
I think it's good news. And I understand where you're going with that.
I know you do. I know you do.
Here's my line of reasoning. I think first things first. I think he's coming back, in my opinion, if he stays healthy this year. Because I think he's back, and I don't think he's a playmaker you just let go. People say he's a running back. I understand that running backs break down. I understand that. They have a shorter shelf life. Completely understand that. This is a big play league.
Big time.
He makes big plays. He's a big play weapon. He makes more big plays than any other running back in the NFL. So the way I look at him is, yeah, he happens to play the running back position, but he's like Travis Kelce to tight ends. Travis Kelce's not a typical tight end. It's the same thing with Saquon Barkley. He's a weapon. You have a player on that team, and he's healthy, and he has an MVP caliber season, which hopefully he stays healthy, and he does that. You do everything in your power to bring him back under the right circumstances.
Look, I am with you, like not even 100%, like 1,000%. I'm nervous on one hand because I do believe he's going to lead the league in something. I do believe that he'll have over 2,000 all-purpose. I do believe that the Giants are going to try to work something out. However, you're going to be working with a different cap. It's going to be more money. You're going to be working with Galladay's numbers because he's either going to go or renegotiate. You're going to work with, you're going to be working here. Shane is going to be working here. And under the right circumstances with a really good year and him knowing that he's not going to get $15 million a year, I want to keep him. Do I think that he's going to be a Giant long-term after this? I don't know.
He's got to stay healthy first, though, before it's even.
Yeah, right. So the best answer for us is just saying I don't know right now.
Yeah,
because then it's always gonna come back to slap you in the face. You said he was gonna stay.
No. Let me say this: he ain't staying unless he stays healthy all year. Then it becomes a conversation.
Fair.
And he's got to continue this level of play. I'm not saying he's got to have 200 scrimmage yards every game, but he's got to play at a very high level this year. He's got to stay healthy. Then it becomes a discussion. I'm not giving him a Zeke deal. I'm not giving him 6 years.
No, that's right. I'll give him 10, but not 6. I'm just
no. I'll give him again, I don't even want to talk about it. It'll be a topic of conversation at the end of the year. But what I will say is I think the probability, I've said this all offseason, the probability of Saquon Barkley coming back increases if Daniel Jones is not back. Because if Daniel Jones is not back, if you're Joe Shane, you say to yourself, okay, now I got more money. I don't got to pay a quarterback. And not only just that, he's a guy that could help the upbringing of a young rookie quarterback.
Yeah, are we really going to get into this right now? You better say this.
No. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. You better say this shit for another time because the scenario you just gave me right there, I'm going to throw back at you. I'm in my office. I'm Shane. I'm in my office. I'm looking at my board, and I'm like, so now we're going to go to rookie quarterback who's going to take a couple of years to mold, and I'm paying this running back $12 million a year? That ain't going to happen either.
We'll see. We'll see at the end of the year. We'll see.
Yeah, we will.
We'll see. NY Giants 26 says, didn't Baker talk blank about the Giants fans? Time to show him what we, the New York Giants fans, are about. Let's go, baby. Stand up. Let's win this thing. Turn me up. Play my new vid before the game. Get us going. Get them down. I'll see if I can. 26, man. But thank you so much. And yeah, Mayfield talked a lot of smack, not just about the quarterback, but about the fans.
Yeah. He talked about everything, but that's okay. That's Baker Mayfield. He talks some junk. I don't dislike it. I dislike it when he talks about my team or the fans, but I don't dislike it. It's part of the game. I would rather him just shut up and play like Eli Manning or Daniel Jones, where you're just a consummate professional. But he did talk a lot of stuff about Daniel Jones. He talked a lot of stuff about the fans, but I'm sorry. I don't think he's that great, and I think the Giants are going to abuse him. I do.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about how this Giants defense is going to hopefully abuse him. I think the most interesting matchup in this game, I'm curious to get your take on it. I said in my preview video, I think the most interesting matchup in this game is McAdoo's offense going up against Wink's defense because they are so different. You have an offense with McAdoo. We know it as Giants fans. What did McAdoo do? He got the ball as quick as he could, right? It was the 2-second offense. He gets the ball out quick. With Wink, he wants to be ultra aggressive. So they kind of, you would think a guy that gets the ball out quick, you kind of take advantage of a guy that blitzes. So I think Wink has to be smart in his approach, and I'm sure he knows this going into the game. But that, to me, is the most interesting, I guess, like in terms of matchups, what I'm really looking forward to seeing how it plays out. McAdoo's offensive approach versus Wink's defensive approach. Yeah,
that's a really good point. Actually, I love that. I didn't pay that too much mind until right now. I thought about it, but I didn't think how it would affect the blitz packaging and stuff like that. So I'm going to leave that to the professionals. I could tell you that the key to the game for me is Cordell Flott. And,
You hit that on the head.
Yeah, number one key to the game for me, and that means they're going to rotate. In my opinion, they're going to rotate the safeties over to help. So that's going to leave an opening. So I think you hit the nail on the head with the offense versus defense. If McAdoo could see what their Giants are trying to do defensively, rotation, which I really believe they're going to do, I would.
Yeah.
You know, he's gonna have some quick pops. If he lets the play develop and Wink nails it and sends the house while rotating a safety over, but the quarterback's got to take a 5-7 drop. I don't know, man. We could see some. We're going to see some exciting stuff here. But other keys to the game: Barkley having another great game, and our linebackers who we only have 3 healthy or whatever. I think that's another key.
Yeah, our linebackers are a huge question mark. I think you're going to see a lot more safeties and DBs out on the field this week because you got Chris McCaffrey coming out of the backfield. We saw last week you were at the game where we really struggled in terms of guarding the back. The back coming out as a pass catcher.
Yeah.
So
wouldn't this be a great week to sign Landon Collins to play linebacker and safety at the same time?
It kind of would be. I kind of think that's the role that McKinney's going to have in this game.
Yeah, and you know what? And McKinney hits Landon's like a tank.
Yeah,
I give McKinney like a little truck, but yeah, they're gonna bring it. I happen to agree with you. I think it's gonna come down into the box. I do.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the matchup. And the other thing, when I looked at what I could see a weakness for the Panthers on offense, Ike Ekwonu, the rookie left tackle, he struggled last week. And if you're going to try to take advantage of this offense, I think that's where you do it. You overload the blitz on the left side, and you try. And another thing I said in my preview video too, knowing that this is an offense where they're going to get the ball out as quick as they possibly can, get your hands up at the line.
Yeah. Good point.
Extra ones, get your hands up at the line because you're going to have opportunities to get some batted balls.
Yeah, you know what? We talked about Darnay Holmes in the preseason a lot and what he did in camp. I think he picked off a ball every damn day. I have him getting a pick on tomorrow.
You think he has a bounce back game tomorrow?
I do. I think he was abused a little bit. I think he gets a pick, and I think it's because of you. I think he gets a pick because it gets a tipped ball, and it winds up in Darnay's hands.
I like it. Listen, I'm
so save that tweet. Save the Lions tweet. Save this tweet. Put them in your drafts and get ready.
I'm going to give you another take of mine on offense this week. We know what the Panthers are going to do on defense. They're going to stack the box. They have to try to minimize Saquon Barkley in the ground game, especially after they saw week 1.
Yes, sir.
I'm going to tell you this right now. This is one of my takes. We're going to see a 30-plus yard DJ run in this game because I think they're going to sell out to stop Saquon Barkley, and I think there's going to be a point in this game where Daniel Jones pulls it back on the RPO. They're going to overcommit to Barkley, and it's going to set up a huge run lane for Jones. Jones has one huge run in this game. I'm calling it.
He does have a phenomenal slide these days.
Yeah.
He does. I'm going to give you. I'm going to save a tweet for you.
We'll see. Hopefully we're both right. Mark, man, thank you very much, man. Stand up. What's up, LPG? Mark, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it, buddy.
What up, big Mark, man?
And Connor says, I'll throw a party if we're 8-9. Realistic, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's right. Realistically, if I would have told everybody before the season that the Giants are going to 7 wins, because that's an over-under in Vegas, you would have been like, shit, the first year of the regime? Okay. And I think 80%, 85% of the percentage of the fan base would have agreed. Hence why I went 8. I want them to go over that number, and you never know. Realistically, like he just said, holy crap, party if they do it. Now, us as fans, we know what we're gonna get, guys. We're gonna get the bull crap of 7 wins. 8 wins, missed out on the quarterback. We're not getting any better. We're in the middle of the pack. So get ready because it's coming. So whatever. But
we got to talk about the quarterback. Daniel Jones. You can't go a Giants stream without talking about most important position on the team. What was your overall mindset? There it is. What was your overall mindset of DJ week 1?
It's a good question. He missed some throws.
Not many. 17 to 21. Yeah.
I mean, come on, look at his stats. He was just fine.
Yeah.
Okay, he was just fine. He missed some throws. I think he was absolutely abused. I don't know why. I thought that it would be a little better. They did settle down, and he was running for his life. My overall is I need a couple weeks with Daniel Jones. This is it, man. You're talking about his career.
Right.
There's no more fifth chance. Like this is it.
This is
right.
it.
This is it. So, I'm on his side. I hope that the guy balls out, because that means he'll be franchised or something to get freaking 30 mil, which I hate, but or you think the Giants actually turn around and give him a long-term contract? I do not. That's just me. I think the new regime has no ties, and they're going to say, do it or you're gone.
Yeah. They're going
to And I don't believe 5, 6, 7, or 8, maybe 8. I don't think 5, 6, 7 is do it. I don't even think 8 is do it. Is enough.
In terms of when you're talking about wins when you say that, right?
And I'm talking about keeping them.
Yeah. I think for him to stay on, I think we got to make the playoffs this year. And at that point, I think he gets a 1-year commitment.
Okay, I'm down.
That's just my prediction.
And that 1-year commitment is only a franchise.
Yeah, or it's a deal, like a 3-year deal, but you could get out after 1, which is basically a franchise.
Correct, but you better stop saying that, because no agent in the world is going to take that.
Look at Derek Carr's contract.
We're talking New York. Hold on, New York. Daniel Jones, after his rookie contract, and not playing up to par. 3 heavy hitters where an agent's going to be like, no, what are you talking about? He's solid. Giants going to be like, bye. There's the door. Take it or leave it.
All right. I mean, whatever it is, he's got to hit a certain threshold to get a 1-year commitment from the Giants. We agree with that.
Yeah, I think I put that post out, or I've seen it a million times, the same question, and people are like, it's a team sport. It's not only that. Oh, that's correct. But the Giants have to do well. That's all there is to it.
Yeah, especially in the last year of his contract. But
yeah,
the one throw in that game that obviously was horrible was in the red zone. He threw the interception.
Yeah, that's correct.
That can't continue to happen. But what I loved was, first off, Dable. I mean, and we got to talk more about Dable. But Dable getting on him on the sideline, loved that, right? And then Daniel Jones responded. Granted, he got a lot of help from Saquon on the last drive. Not saying he didn't, but Jones did a couple of key plays on that drive. He had the 4th and 1 scramble play, picked up a 3rd and 5, threw for the touchdown. That, to me, is a sign of growth of a quarterback.
100%. 100%.
What stats does he need? It's not so much about stats for me. It's about having moments like that.
I mean, I haven't seen a coach do that since Bill Parcells. Oh, no, that's not true. Coughlin. But I watched, no, not Coughlin, because Coughlin and Eli they didn't even ever have to speak. But, you look at what Dable did, and I remember watching Parcells just scream and yell at Phil and say, I'm behind you 100%. I'll get your head out of your ass. Right. So I loved it. I'm with you. Loved it.
So overall, what did you think of Dable going for 2? Like when you're sitting in the crowd, because I'm going to tell you right now on my live stream, the start of the 4th quarter, I called it. I
did. That's awesome. No, I didn't see that.
I said to the guy I'm doing the game with, I said, if there's 1 minute left in this game and the Giants are down 1, I would go for 2. And that's played out.
Yeah. So I'm 100% with you. Congratulations for calling that. I would not have called that
I'm not bragging about it, but my point
No.
Yeah.
Meaning I wouldn't have called it pre-4th quarter.
Yeah.
So great job. But the more and more I thought about it, in the 1 minute I had to send out the tweet of balls of steel.
Right.
I loved it because he's a new coach. Nothing's expected of him right now.
Well, the way I look at it is you're on the road, first off, right? You're going up against a better team. Let's be real. Going into that game, most people felt the Titans were the better team. That's why they were favored by 5.5. So you're at a disadvantage. No, almost everybody. Okay. So you're at a disadvantage in that aspect. You're going up against a better team. You're on the road. So if you go to overtime, they're going to be favored due to those things, right? They're a better team. They're at home.
Correct.
The other
100%.
thing is at the time you still have 3 timeouts. So if you don't get it, you still potentially could get a 3 and out, get the ball back for 40 seconds to try to get in field goal range.
Yes, absolutely.
So that's why everything made sense to me. You go for the win there, So I loved the decision by Dable, whether they got it or whether they didn't. And the other things with Dable that I loved in the game, the challenge with 7 minutes to go, where the guy had his knee down, that was a great job. We saw Joe Judge miss on tons of those. Shermer miss on tons of those.
And I got to be honest with you, I don't know how coaches miss on him. It comes from up top.
Yeah, well, maybe it's because they didn't have a guy up top. Now we finally got our offensive coordinator up top.
Dude, it comes from up top. I don't understand how you blow that.
Yeah.
How many times in baseball? No, keep going.
Well, last year,
challenge.
You remember Judge last year, the first game? He admitted that he knew he was going to get a flag when he threw the challenge flag.
And I wanted to look. You know, I'm a big Judge fan, but I want to throw this right at. I couldn't. I was like, but I still am. I think he's going to be a good coach somewhere. But yeah. What do you mean? You knew you were going to get a flag, so you threw the flag? What are you doing?
Yeah. And what about the halftime adjustments too, man? We have not.
Come on. Haven't had that in forever. I don't even know when.
Yeah. The way that they went into, like you were saying earlier, the interior offensive line was atrocious in the first half. They go into halftime, they commit to the run despite the fact they're down 13 points, and the adjustments they made at halftime were brilliant. It got us back.
You know what? I wish this offensive line was the same line from last year, because I would have said that's because Joe Judge is running them to death, caught up with them 1 year later.
What did you think of Neal in this game?
You know, that's my dude, bro.
Yeah.
That's my dude. Even though I got 5 jerseys, in the closet with 70 on it, he's still my dude.
I'm excited about Neal, and Andrew Thomas is a beast. He made Bud Dupree look like he was a nobody.
Yeah, I mean, Bud Dupree had his sack and a couple of hurries. At least I heard his name at the loud. So, you know, it's very tough when you're at the game. Like, you know, I might tweet some stuff like where I could be so wrong. I don't see shit, man, where I sit.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm guessing, or I think I know the hole and I see the sticks and I know it's a 1, 2, 3, 4. I could get all that stuff, but I can't see the backside linebacker blitzing. I can't see the end. You know, and then you know the luxury of seeing it on replay. I don't have that, man. I don't have that.
Yeah, but AT did a good job. AT did a really good job.
Oh yeah, no doubt. It
says Chuck Knox was my reaction Sunday verbatim. Neighbors must have filed a complaint from all the screaming. We need to make MetLife a loud place that's fear. I completely agree with you, Clayton.
And first of all, Chuck Knox is an animal.
He's awesome.
He's got some. He's got some that voice and that. Get the fuck up. He's been doing that for years. I like his videos. Very, very much hyped.
Yeah, he's been doing that for like 10 years. And
I know.
They haven't had anything to hype about, but he's great. And Big Moose says, can't worry about any other team except us.
Facts.
I'll take it even further. Big Moo. No, you can worry about a team, but you worry about the team on your schedule this week. You worry about Carolina. You don't think about Dallas. You don't think about Chicago. We got one team on our schedule right now, and that's this week. I'm not worried about week 3. I'm not worried about week 4. All I'm thinking about is tomorrow, Carolina Panthers. Get a win.
Facts.
Kerr says, DJ doesn't look too confident. He's not a franchise quarterback. Great quarterbacks make great plays to win games, and DJ makes some bad plays at critical times.
That's the knock. There's nothing to talk about there. This is not breaking news.
Yeah.
You know, he can only play up to his potential and see what happens after that. We could talk to her blue in the face. He's not going anywhere right now.
Yeah, and I mean, so far up to this point, Kerr, you're right. Overall, he has not had near enough big moments. You could. John Mara admitted to it, and he was right. Not that I'm excusing Daniel Jones of any blame, because he certainly deserves some of it. He plays the most important position. The Giants did set Daniel Jones up to failure. They think that they improved that situation this year. I'm gonna at least give him the year to see what he could do. It was the first game. It wasn't perfect. I gave him a C+, but I didn't expect perfect week 1. It's a new scheme. The offensive line is still getting accustomed to playing with one another. I'm giving him the year, and I'm going to analyze him over the year. We'll see if he grows. He needs to see a lot more good moments throughout the course of the year. This was a small step. We need to see a lot more over the course of the year. Chief says, biggest Giants letdown, Burris shot himself in the leg and ruined obvious repeat.
Dude.
How long have you been watching the Giants, LPG?
I'm still enjoying this freaking victory. I got less than 24 hours, bro. I got less than 24 hours. Come on.
And now we're thinking about Plaxico Burris going to a nightclub with sweatpants shooting himself.
I'm not even gonna be able to sleep tonight now.
Oh God! I mean, I agree with him. We would have won a Super Bowl that year, but I want to think about. I want to think about the Week 1 win. I don't want to be thinking about.
No, I got no. I got 15 hours. You can't tell me shit right now. I don't care.
Jacob says definitely 60-40 fan ratio. It was at Nissan Stadium. It was a bunch of fun. Me, LT, in Franklin the day before. Dope. So he went there as well. So I'm glad you had fun, Jacob.
I'm telling you, it's crazy.
There was that many Giants fans.
And then ask this. I don't know about all that, but who is this again?
Jacob.
Tell Jacob. Ask Jacob right now when he bought his tickets.
Jacob, when did you buy your tickets? Now I'm assuming when you go to these road games, they're usually a lot more affordable than the home games because New York's the most expensive.
Not necessarily.
Now you of course sit the best seats, but I'm saying
well that's a killer, but not necessarily, bro, because they know New York is coming.
Good point. Oh, good point. Now, the one game that I know is going to be super expensive for you. We're not playing them this year. When we do play them, it's going to be the Raiders.
London, goddammit.
What did you say?
London.
Well, London's ridiculous. But in terms of like domestic games, the ticket prices at the new Raiders Stadium in Vegas are outrageous.
Yeah, that's going to kill me. That's going to hurt me. But, look, I save up throughout the year. I know what my expenditures are going to be. Everybody's like, oh, what does he do that he could afford? First of all, I sell my home games. I sit front row. So, I make some money from that. And then I buy my away games. If you really think about it, bro, how many away games could I drive to Washington. I drive to Philly.
Yeah.
So what do I got? 6, 7 games that I got to get to?
And maybe one other, depending on
and maybe one other driving game. So I got 5 games that I have to handle. I already stay at a Holiday Inn and get a breakfast for free. So, if you really do the math, it's not bad. By the way, if anybody got a hotel, or a car hookup, hook me up.
It's probably the cost of like a vacation. Like if you go on a nice vacation once a year or your road
with the ticket in there. Yes.
Yeah. So
because the ticket's a killer. Did Jacob ever answer us, by the way?
I'll look at the chat. I'll see if he answered. Hold on. Let me scan down all the way to the.
Because Jacob's going to tell you that he bought him when the season came out.
I'm still looking. So far I don't see it, but I'm sure he'll answer.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll answer. Hopefully he's still in here. I'm sure he is. When he does, I'll give you the answer. Rainbow says, I said if the New York Giants win week 1, I'm going to get front row seats next game. Now I got front row for tomorrow. That's awesome.
Oh, that's sick. Where are you sitting?
Enjoy the game, Rainbow, man. Thank you,
Rainbow.
so much.
I love it. I mean, front row is a great experience. I hope it's in the end zone, and I hope you get a ball. I hope they score a touchdown and throw it right at you.
What is your, like, in terms of, like, I know the front row is obviously the most exciting because you're closest to the players, but in terms of, like, a viewing experience, I haven't sat a lot in front row before, but I always thought maybe, like, 10 to 15 rows back on the first level, and you always want to be at 50-yard line. That's always ideal, but I would think you want to be back a little bit more.
Yeah, I don't care. Between the 35s is fine.
Right.
Even for me in the front row, between the 35s, 40s is great. You're right. Up a little bit is great, but I started sitting there because I hang my plates.
I know you do. Yeah.
But, I can't even bring in half the stadiums anyway.
Right.
They always give me crap. And my biggest thing now is I get the interaction with the players. Forget about me. Watching them, listening to the coaches, talking to them. I hear everything, man.
I know. Well,
I hear everything.
That's what you pay for.
I mean, so that's my experience, and I like it. I'll give up seeing a 3rd and 2 quarterback sneak that I can't see from here for that lingo. I do for that verbiage. Yeah, the language.
I get it. Jatone says, "Do you guys think we could get off to a 4-0 start?" All right, let's.
It's already happened. It already happened. You didn't see it. It's already happened.
Here's what I'll say, Jatone. 1 game at a time, like I said. But do I think it can happen? Yeah. I mean,
it's happening.
I haven't looked at the lines, LPG, but if you had to guess right now, we're probably favored against Dallas right now with Dak hurt. Not that I'm saying we're definitely going to win, and we're probably favored against the Bears, I would guess, at home for a 3rd straight week. So can it happen? Yeah. Do I expect it to? That's another story. But yes, it certainly could happen.
I gotta be honest with you. I'm gonna be very, very, very disappointed if the Giants aren't 2-0. So I'm just going along your way. I'm gonna say that they're gonna go 2-0, and then I became really close with. I became close with Rudolph, believe it or not, after Kyle Rudolph.
Okay.
After he donated to the Dunkin' Monday, gave me like $800 to go get coffee for everybody. You didn't know that story?
If I did,
Yeah. So
I know you always do the Dunkin'. I do
the Dunkin' Donuts thing.
Yeah.
I put on Instagram. I made $800. He goes, good. Here's another 8. Wait, what? So I bought coffee, firehouses, police stations. It was great. Anyway, I became friendly with him. He reached out to me. He goes, you're gonna crush Dallas because they just played him. And I'm like, they're bad.
Where is Rudolph now?
Tampa.
Oh, he is with Tampa. That's right.
Yeah. So I know. I just thought it was funny that I'm looking past the Panthers and I come on, man. I know better than to look past any team. My father taught me well, but Dakless Cowboys.
I'm with you, man. I think we got a good shot to beat the Cowboys. I think we got a good shot to win all these games, but knowing the Giants, let's take it one game at a time. And King Josh says Saquon is 2022 beast mode. I'm with you on that. Big Moose says Galladay equals go away, but not till next year.
Well, you can't do anything because next year is true. I really disappointed.
Right.
I didn't know Galladay, but the guy that I go to games with, the guy that wears the helmet, D-Bone, is a good friend of mine. D-Bone had him on his fantasy team. First of all, I hate it because he would be like, Galladay scored again. I'm like, dude, it's 32. Shut up. So, it's the worst feeling in the world. But, and then I started following Galladay because of my stupid friend.
Right.
And I'm like, he's great. Like every year, 50-50 ball, he got it. Touchdown every game, he got it. I'm like, your dude is good. I was so happy with the signing, bro. I really was.
I mean, listen, at the end of the day, I think we were all excited.
I was excited.
I think most of us thought they probably overpaid, but you always overpay in free agency.
Who cares? More money.
And it was a position that we knew that we needed. You knew that you needed to try to evaluate Jones. He needed a number one weapon. Galladay led the league in touchdowns in 2019. I thought he actually fit the Garrett scheme pretty well. I don't think he fits this scheme well, though. And that's what I worry about, like how they're going to find a way to get him involved in this offense. But yeah, he didn't do much week one. Hopefully, he can do something this week. But I just don't really see him being a fit in a Mike Kafka led offense. I don't think he's an ideal fit for an offense like this.
I agree with you. Hey, I'm sorry. Right now, I got 2%. That should go to fall on you again.
I didn't. Yeah, I was going to say.
No. I'm good, but it will shut off.
He's got 2%, so LPG is going to be here for 6 more minutes, and then I'm going to hang out with the chat for a bit. But before your phone dies, LPG, first I want to say thank you so much for coming on.
I love it. I love this talk.
At a minute's notice, definitely want to do something. I definitely want to try to help you with one of your charities. I know you're so good with that. So next time you have a big charity, let me know. I will get involved in it. So
yeah, bet. I love that. Thank you so much.
I definitely want to do something with you with that. But first, I want to say thank you so much for coming on. I hope you have an absolute blast at the game tomorrow. But more importantly, I need a score prediction.
Score prediction. Baker. I think the Giants 31-21.
Well, you like us pretty convincingly.
Dude, there's no stopping this undefeated team, bro. What don't you understand? What is so hard to understand? They're undefeated.
So you think we're scoring 30 points for the first time in like 4 years?
The first series, right down the field. And none of this three bullshit. First series, straight down the field, touchdown.
I love it, man.
I'm telling you, bro. They're so mentally prepared, and I really believe they are. Bunch of young kids don't know anything but winning. Yeah, right. Don't know anything but winning, and they're gonna take it onto the field with the player introductions tomorrow and go right down the field and score.
You're getting me hyped up, man.
I'm hyped up every Sunday.
I think we're gonna win. I don't think we're gonna win that convincingly, but I think we're gonna win. And
sweet.
We know it as Giants fans. Like It's never that easy.
When,
So
when is it? I'm just curious before we hang up. When was the last time? When was the last time the Giants had a convincing victory? Does anybody know?
I feel like we killed Washington Jones's rookie year at the end of the year.
I would. So are you going back? Are you telling me 3 years ago?
Yeah, actually, we didn't even kill them though, did we? He had a great
No.
game, but we didn't kill him.
When is the last time the Giants had a convincing victory in the third quarter?
Actually, didn't we convincingly beat the Panthers last year? It was close at halftime, but didn't we?
25-3, right?
Yeah, so that I would go with that one.
Oh, you're right. You're right. So there you go. The Panthers again.
And you think Daniel Jones makes another catch like last year?
No.
I just want to win, man. I don't care if it's 2-0.
Oh, shit. This was great, man. I had so much fun with you, bro.
Yeah, man. I appreciate you so much for coming on, LPG. Like I said, just message me next time you're doing and a lot of you guys don't know this. LPG reached out to me via phone call when I'm not gonna mention the guy's name, made a derogatory video about me. He was the first guy that reached out to me. So I want to say thank you for that publicly. Thank you for the support you always show. Checking up on me. Great guy, great Giants fan. And I appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate all the support you show for the Giants and the community.
Look, I thank you for bringing that up. I would never have, but you should know, and I say this all the time, there's a lot of people out there that love you. A lot of people out there that love LPG. It's great. It's a good feeling. It takes one guy to question you or talk about you, or it just takes one negative comment. And even though it shouldn't bother you because the love outweighs the hate, it does bother you. It does get inside you. It does keep you up at night. It all those things. So, just like I told Sam Prince when he was here, I was like, get ready, bro. It's not all flowers. It's not all roses, bro. You're going to get some hate because there's some mad, jealous people out there. Why isn't that me? Why is that him? Yeah. So it comes with the territory. So I wanted you to know you can't let that shit bother you because it will destroy you. And you got to look at all of these comments and all these people that jump on with you and all these people that say, yo, man, you got me through tomorrow or today, and I'm looking forward to tomorrow. And all of that stuff has to come forefront before any of that hate.
Yeah, man. And I just want to say I appreciate it, man. You were one of the first guys that reached out. You didn't have to do it. You said, Chris, what's your number? You called me. So
no doubt.
You got an opportunity to talk to you. You're a nice guy, and I'm looking forward to I want to jump on with you. Next time you do one of these big charities, let me know. I definitely want to be a part of it. So
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on, brother.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, man. And let's go Giants.
31-21.
LPG's the man. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm going to hang out with you guys for a bit. I know a lot of you guys are still going to be excited for the game tomorrow. I appreciate LPG for coming on. He's got to be up early. He's gonna be tailgating before the game, so gonna let him go. It's 10 o'clock, but always have a lot of fun when LPG comes on the channel. He's awesome. Let me read a couple of these. Big Moo says, I just read that. John Smith says, I'm itching to see Kadarius Toney, maybe you mean Kayvon Thibodeau, finally play so I could bet him to have the first sack. Yeah, you mean Kayvon Thibodeau. Yeah, me too. I don't think it's going to be today. I don't know if they officially ruled him out, but he's going to be out. They ruled him doubtful yesterday. I don't think he's playing. If he hasn't already been ruled out, he probably has been. But if he hasn't been, he's not going to play tomorrow. But I do think there's a good chance he'll play week 3. Mike says, oh, he just left. Sorry. He says, LPG, what did Shane say to you at FanFest? Yeah, he just left. Sorry. So his phone was dying. He was on 1%. So next, I'll try to save it. Sorry, Mike. I didn't get to it in time. But it's hard when I'm talking to a guest. It's hard for me to keep up with all the questions. And there's another LPG. Jeremiah, thank you. He says, LPG, for a fact that Parcells would yell at Phil Simms when LT messed something up on the field because he couldn't. Yeah. And I think that's kind of what he was referencing. That's what he was comparing Dable to. And a lot of people have this week what Parcells did to Simms. I think Simms himself actually made that comparison. It reminded a lot of New York Giants fans of that. And it's tough love. And I think it was necessary at that point in time. He needs to be reprimanded for that. He needs to be yelled at. He's not saying that you're going to be benched. He's not saying you're a horrible quarterback, but it's unacceptable. And hopefully he learns from that and he grows as a quarterback. And it starts this week. So I like the way that Jones bounced back and responded to that. But Jeremiah, man, thank you very much, buddy. And Top Gun says, having our offense coordinator up in the booth, he has a better look at the defense, so adjustments are easier Love it with him being in the booth. Yeah, I talked about this. I was on Patricia Trainer's channel last night, and I talked about this with her. It's a different vantage point, right? Because him and Dable, I'm assuming it's very collaborative in terms of the offensive game plan, the offensive play calling. You have to figure that Dable's very involved in it, even though Kafka's the play caller. And if Kafka was out on the field, they both have the same vantage point, looking at it from the same way. So I think it's valuable to have a guy up there, get the old 22 look, get a broader, look at the field. So I like that. And the Giants haven't had that in a long time with their offensive coordinator. Of course, Shermer was both while he was here, the offensive coordinator and the head coach. Well, technically not the offensive coordinator, but he was the play caller. And with Judge, Garrett was down on the field as well. So I like that adjustment that they made. Russell, he says, what I like about Dable going for 2 was he made a statement to the media. I don't care what you think. I'm here to win. Most first-year head coaches would have played it safe. Yeah, and you factor in that it's New York, right? I mean, with a venomous fan base that even though Russell, I would have defended him for it. You know that if you watch the live stream, I said long before they went for it that that's exactly what I would have done. I would have defended it. But let's be real, Russell. For everybody that's calling him Brian Day balls, had he missed that 2-point conversion, 75 to 80% of the fan base would be destroying him for making that decision. And he knew that. He didn't care. He knew it was the right decision, and he did it. And that's what leaders do. He was willing to take the hate if the New York Giants came up short. The other thing that I think it does, Russell, and Saquon Barkley talked about it after the game, Daniel Jones talked about it after the game, it gives those players a belief in themselves that a head coach is willing to stick his neck out on the line and says, I believe in you guys. I believe that you guys can do this. And they didn't have that same feeling with Joe Judge as the head coach. The guy's calling third and 9 2B sneaks. He was ultra conservative. And regardless of the talent on your team, you have to show faith in your players. And that's what he did. So I think it was the right decision, especially, like I've said, the fact it was on the road, the fact you were going to, week 1 against a better football team. You have to try to win the game then and there. Connor, man, thank you very much, man. Great stream, guys. Something I've thought of. A lot of media say we have no talent. Yet, honestly, we have 2 potential All-Pros, Saquon and AT. I think we have talent. My biggest question mark, Connor, obviously the quarterback. When I say question, he's not Pat Mahomes. He's not Josh Allen. He's not, the Justin Herberts of the world. But outside of that, I think my biggest concern on this team is depth, because I think we're really thin in a lot of positions. And if we sustain a couple of injuries to key areas, this team could be in a lot of trouble. But that's a lot of teams around the NFL. And it just so happens we talk about it so much because the New York Giants just seemingly always have key injuries to key players on this football team over the last 7, 8, 9, 10 years. It's what Saquon Barkley said. I watched his interview before the year started. He talked about how this team has had so many injuries, and that's been probably as big of a problem as anything else as to why this team has been as bad as they've been over the last 5 or 6 years. They got to stay healthy. They got to stay out on the football field. But Andrew Thomas he's reached All-Pro level, and Saquon Barkley is an All-Pro. When he's healthy, he's an All-Pro. So you're absolutely right about that. To me, Andrew Thomas, one of the best left tackles in football. And Saquon Barkley, I'm going to label him a weapon, is one of the best weapons in football. So, yeah, both of those guys are tremendous, tremendous football players. Chris, man, thank you very much. He just left, man. Sorry, dude. Says, I got a question for LPG. Which player from current or past you vibe with the most? I already know it, though, because I've asked him this question before. So I could answer it for you. I'd let LPG answer it, but I'll answer it for you. OBJ. Him and OBJ had like a personal relationship. They hung out a lot off the field. He hung out he went to his house. He talks to him, like he said, weekly. So I've asked him that question. It's Odell Beckham, and it's not even close. He's actually like really good friends with Odell Beckham. So that's the one. It's OBJ. But he has good relationship with Judge. I remember the first time I had LPG on the channel, he was late to the stream. And he said, sorry, Chris, I think I started the stream like 20 or 30 minutes late. And he told me that he was on the phone with Justin Tuck. And I was like, oh, I'd be late too. So, and I know he's good friends with Brandon Jacobs. He's had him on his channel before. But I think definitely his strongest ties are with OBJ. And Big Moo, he says, how can we super chat LPG? I mean, I think with LPG, in terms of that, he's not on YouTube. So he doesn't have a YouTube channel. He has an Instagram channel if you want to support him. But I mean, I think what he tries to do mainly is give back to charities. He doesn't really have like a platform where he talks about the football team. He always has charities and things of that nature. And like I said, I want to get involved the next time he has maybe a charity softball game. I know he does that every year, but he doesn't really have a YouTube channel. And Kaylin, question for LPG: worst stadium you ever been to? I'm gonna have to save that for the next time he's on. I'll ask that. I think I have asked that for him, but I don't remember off the top of my head. I know I've asked him his favorite and I think least favorite stadium he's been to, but the next time he's on, I'll ask him. But he had to go. Harry says, I'm 16. I never really seen the Giants any good, and my father has season tickets. I'm a diehard fan. Well, first off, that's awesome that you have season tickets. You get to go to the games, I'm sure, with your dad. Yeah, and it's unfortunate for the younger fans, right? I'm 36, so at least I got to see them, right, with Eli Manning and their 2 Super Bowl wins, and obviously fans older than me got to see all 4 Super Bowls. So, I didn't really get to experience the 90 Super Bowl. I was 5 years old. I don't really count that, but hopefully it turns soon. I'm not going to go as far to say that I think it's going to turn this year, Harry. It's not. I think it's a process. I'm not expecting greatness this year. You just want to see progress and signs of hope going forward, but hopefully we finally got the right head coach and the right general manager in here, and they're starting to turn this team around. I think I'm not going to jump the gun, but I have confidence. Not saying it's a sure thing, but I have confidence that they are starting to steer this ship in the right direction, and hopefully we can catch a couple of breaks. But Harry, man, thank you very much, man. Cedric says from Arizona and bought me and my mom tickets to the Seattle game the week they came out. First row behind the Giants bench will be my second game. Well, that's awesome. I hope that you enjoy the game. And I think, Cedric, honestly, I think that's a game we should win. I know a lot of people are going to be hyping up Seattle after this past week. I don't think Seattle's very good. I know that Geno Smith looked good in the first half. And Geno Smith may be decent this year with Seattle. They should have lost that game by 14 points. The Broncos fumbled it twice on the 1-yard line. So I definitely think that's a team we could beat, especially as this team matures. It gets better over the course of the year. So I think you got a good chance to see a win on the road when you go to that game. And hopefully the Giants can stay healthy going into it. But Cedric, man, thank you very much, man. I appreciate it, buddy. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that game. I'm looking forward to that 4-game stretch. Killian, hey, Chris, I'm finally moving to the States. That's awesome. Can't wait to go to some Giants games, tailgate, and meet the Tana. Well, hopefully you're going to the Bears game because I'm definitely going to that game. I may be going to another game later in the season as well. I think it's a Washington game. Bobby's going to be doing a tailgate that game, and I'm going to try to make it to that game. But the plan is, as of right now, I'm definitely going to week 4. I'm going to be tailgating with Justin. So that should be a lot of fun. Hopefully I get to meet some of you guys there for that, for the Bears-Giants game. But it'd be a pleasure getting to meet you, man. I want to go to some more Giants games in the future. So that'd be awesome, Killian, man. But thanks so much for being here, and good luck on your move. As Simple says, I wore my Cruise jersey, one of my favorite Giants, to work last week on Saturday. And guess what? I wore it to work again today. Yes, I'm superstitious too. You got to be. It makes it more fun, at least for me. You're going to see me wearing my Barkley jersey tomorrow because that's what I wore on game day last week, and they won. There's a reason I picked them to lose in my prediction video, even though in my heart of hearts I think we're going to win. I picked them to lose in my prediction video last week. They won. I don't change it. I stick with it until such time something changes. Then we try to create a new streak. So, not that I actually believe these things, but it makes it more fun for me as a fan. You guys know that I wore the red hoodie for 4 straight games. I hadn't worn it the whole season. They won 4 in a row that year with Joe Judge. So hopefully the Saquon jersey and picking against the New York Giants starts a new winning streak. So you got to go with what works. I don't like changing things during a winning streak. 30 points is a lot to ask for. I agree, but I'd like to see it. Something that we have not seen in a very long time. But let's talk to the chat. I'm rocking the 92 home strand tomorrow, y'all. Yeah, you should. I don't know if you went, Jahai, but I went to. I think it was it last year? I think it was. Yeah, the game that I went to where they retired his number. That was a great experience against the Eagles, in which Jalen Hurts threw 4 interceptions. And that was a great speech by Strahan, by the way, at that game. Dharma, man, gonna rock the Tiki Barber jersey. I got a Tiki Barber jersey. I don't know where it is. It's probably stored away with a lot of my other old jerseys. But every once in a while, I clean out my old clothes. I saw a Kerry Collins jersey the other day, maybe like a couple of months ago. I think I posted on Twitter when I saw it. I got a bunch of old Giants jerseys. Tiki Barber's one of them. I say it all the time. He was my first player that I fell in love with. When I first really started becoming a diehard New York Giants fan, he's the first player I fell in love with. I named my dog Tiki as a kid. Named her after Tiki Barber. So I love Tiki growing up as a kid. Giants must win tomorrow. No excuses. Let's go, buddy. Tana isn't superstitious, just a little stitious. I haven't entered my parlay. Well, I remember you told me last week, James, that you did a parlay, and I think you picked against the Giants. But you do that to kind of hedge your bets, where you're happier if the Giants win, but you at least financially benefit if the Giants lose. I think you told me that last week. So whatever you do, if you picked against them last week, pick against them again. Whatever you did last week, do it again. Let's get another win. Independent man, thank you for being a member for 33 months. He says, I'm 54 years young when it comes to football knowledge. Wiser, thanks to some of the streamers you, Patricia Traina included. How do we keep from overusing Barkley? I don't think the Giants are worried about that this year. And I know like that may be a selfish thing to say. But I don't think the Giants are worried about that this year. This is, like kind of like LPG was alluding to. This is not Gettleman anymore. This is not the guy that drafted Saquon Barkley. And Barkley's not going to shy away from it. It's a contract year. He needs to prove that he could put a team on his back. And if he does, he's going to get paid, whether it's here or whether it's somewhere else. So he's not going to be upset, with getting a lot of work here for the New York Giants being the focal point of the offense. But I don't think the Giants are too worried about it. I think they're going to use him. I think they're going to abuse him. I think he's going to be heavily used, especially early in the year when you got Daniel Jones at quarterback, learning a new scheme, the offensive line much more advanced in terms of run blocking. Saquon Barkley is going to be heavily used in this offense, whether it be running the football, catching the football. I don't think it's on the Giants' mind. Maybe you could give Breida a couple more carries here and there, but Saquon Barkley is going to get his touches. He's going to get his 20 to 25 touches. He's the best weapon in this offense. If we're going to win games offensively, he's going to be the main reason why, especially earlier on in the year. How am I supposed to sleep after this? You're not sleeping because I'm not sleeping. What's the news on Kayvon and Tony? Tony is still questionable going into the game, at least from what I've heard. Kayvon is doubtful. Kayvon's not going to play. And Aziz is not going to play. I would guess, and this is just a guess, Tony will play. The question will be he be out there for a full allotment of touches? I'm gonna hedge on that. I'm gonna say probably not, but I think he'll be used at least in a limited capacity tomorrow. I think he'll suit up. But that's just me guessing. I have no idea. Giants can take advantage that of course they can. And what's up, Dyer? I can't believe I haven't asked you this before. Afghanistan. Oh, he's talking Afghanistan. What jerseys do you own? Let's see. Last year was my first Giants game. My girlfriend took me. We had front row seats, and she accidentally booked the same hotel the team stayed at. It was epic. We lost. Still a great experience. I mean, that's awesome, man. You got to go to a Giant game. That's always fun. And hopefully you get to see some winning experiences. I say it all the time. I have a lot of bad luck when I go to Giants games. Now, they won last year when I went to the Eagles game, but they usually lose. I went to 3 Giants games in 2007, the year that they won the Super Bowl. They lost all 3. They lost all 3. I know I went to the Cowboys game that year. I went to the Packers game. Maybe they didn't play the Packers that year in 2007. I know I went to the Packers game in 2011, and I know I went to 3 games in 2007. I know Washington was one. The Cowboys was another. I went to the Washington game that was late in the year, the game that Shockey got hurt. They lost that game, and they lost the Cowboys game. And I went to another game. I don't remember which team it was, but they lost all 3 games I went to. Of course, the Giants that year were a much better road team. It's why their nickname was the Road Warriors. I think they went 10-6. They were 7-1 on the road, which means that they were 3-5 at home. So they weren't a very good home team that year, but I went to 3 of the losses. Let's see what we got. You saw them in the red jerseys then. Yeah, that was the Washington game. I think they were in the red jerseys, if I'm not mistaken. I can't remember. Give Tana a thumb. Yeah, give me a little thumbs up. Subscribe, ring the bell. We're going to be live on this channel tomorrow with Bad Dog calling the game. Looking forward to it. Please don't change your underwear that you were wearing. I'm not. I've been wearing that underwear. No, I haven't. I'm not that disgusting, but same underwear will be on tomorrow. I promise you. They did play the Packers that year. Then that was the game I went to because it makes sense. Because at the time, my girlfriend and her family were diehard Packers fans. I remember going to the Packers game with her in 2011. I'm sure we went to the Packers game in 2007 because she was a diehard Packer fan. So those were the 3 games I went to. I'm assuming that if they lost the game, I went. And I would assume I went to that game. I know I went to the Washington Cowboys game. And I if they lost to the Packers, I went to that game too. Can you join the stream? You know what? For a little bit. We'll probably close this out at about 11. We'll go for another 45 minutes. So I'm not going to get to near all of you guys tonight. I'll take like 3 or 4 callers. You guys could express your thoughts going into the game. There's the link right there. I'm definitely not getting all you guys, but we're going to close this out at about 11 because I'm going to be at full energy tomorrow to call the game with Bad Dog. Really looking forward to it. But there's the link right there if you want to join. Right above the super chat by Dire Giants fan if you want to click it. Dire Giants fan. Tana, same question. Let me go back to your question. I know that you asked the jersey. What was the exact question? I can't believe I haven't asked this to you before, Afghanistan. What jerseys do you own? Yeah, I mean, you see the jerseys I own when I wear them on stream. One of the jerseys was gifted to me by 2, one by you, the Daniel Jones jersey, which thank you again when I met you in person at the Giants game. Another one somebody gifted me was an Amani Toomer jersey. So I have both of those from subscribers, but I have a ton of older jerseys. I have a Michael Barrow jersey. I have a Tiki Barber jersey. I have a Kerry Collins jersey. I have a Jeremy Shockey jersey. I think, yeah, I have a Strahan jersey. I don't know where it is, but I have one, or I had one. And then obviously of current Giants, I have Saquon Barkley, I have Daniel Jones, I have Kayvon Thibodeau, I have Andrew Thomas. So yeah, those are some of the jerseys that I own. I'm sure I have a few more older ones that that I don't recall off the top of my head. Eli, did I mention Eli? I have like 4 Eli jerseys. I have a Super Bowl jersey, which I don't think I've ever worn on stream, but I got it. I got a Super Bowl jersey when we played in Arizona in his first Super Bowl. I've got a white Eli jersey. I got a blue Eli jersey. I have at least 3 Eli jerseys. I might have 4. But yeah, those are the majority of Giant jerseys that I own. But let's get Independent on first. What's going on, Independent?
Yeah. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to my workspace. I'm actually at work, but I'm at lunch, so I was able to hop on here. You and P Train, you guys hit it out of the park. There were a lot of questions. You mentioned, and this gets me very excited when you talk about 2 tight end sets. Do you really think they're going to do that?
Yeah, I do.
Good.
Yeah, I definitely do. I think it's especially in a game like this where I think you're going to need as many blockers out there as possible, knowing that the Panthers are going to try to stack the box. 100%. I think you're. I talked about Myrick last week. I don't know what his snap count was. I don't think it was too high. Of course, he caught the.
No, he had like 1 catch. I think the
yeah. I'm not even talking about the catches though.
The blocks.
I'm curious. I'm going to look it up what the snap count was.
Yeah, please, because I was wondering about his blocking.
Yeah, I was. I got it right here. Actually, I was curious to see. I looked at it the other day because he was one of the first players I wanted to see because I thought we would use him a decent amount in last week's game, and he wasn't out there as much as I thought he would be. But I think in this game you're gonna in order to run the ball they're gonna need. Here it is. Myrick had he was only out there for 23% of the snaps on Sunday, and then you had Bredesen. I'm sorry, not Brett. I don't know why I said Bredesen. Where's the other tight end? There he is. Bellinger was out there for 48% of the snaps. So actually, and then you had Tanner Hudson who was out there for 32% of the snaps. Right. So I would assume probably about 30% of the snaps last week they may have had 2 tight ends out on the field at the same time. But they had probably a lot of snaps where they had no tight ends at all, where they had a spread offense.
That's a Christmas present to me because I've been looking for a fullback too, and Mayrick, you have both. I mean, he's kind of a fullback tight end.
Yeah, he's an ace back.
Yeah. So the other question that I had, and you guys touched on a little bit, is in regards to the injuries. Now, people are always blaming the turf and all of that stuff, but you touched on it. We tend to draft for talent, and sometimes we ignore the fact that these guys were injured. Kayvon had a history of injuries. Wandale's had a history of injuries, and Tony sure as hell had a history of injuries. So moving forward, whether we go for if we go for a cheap free agent, I mean, you expect that to some degree. But if you're drafting a first rounder, I mean, I said it. I think I said it in Twitter. People were wondering why on earth was Trayvon Walker drafted so high? Maybe because he wasn't injured, and he is still a high performance guy. So
yeah, I mean, what I'll say about that, I definitely think when you have injury history in college, it's obviously going to hurt your potential draft stock, and Tony had that coming into the pros. I think the main reason why Trayvon Walker was drafted as early as he was his potential upside.
Right.
You saw the combine he had, and he obviously blew them away because he had a freakishly athletic combine for a man of his size for the position that he plays. And a lot of people argued for the college that he played for, he wasn't given the best opportunity to really show out in terms of, compared to a guy like Aiden Hutchinson or a guy like Kayvon Thibodeau. So I think that's why he went number 1 is the Jaguars they thought he had a higher ceiling than the other prospects.
And you mentioned, Patricia mentioned, and I've taken a look. I know it's way too early, but I've taken a look at a couple of the wide receivers. To be honest with you, I don't see anybody. Everybody except for the first 2, and I'm hoping that we don't get there because that means that we're probably looking at a quarterback if we're that high.
The draft next year.
Draft next year.
A couple of really talented receivers. I forgot the guy's name off the top of my head, but there's a receiver at Ohio State that's really good.
Yeah,
I
it's a very odd name.
yeah,
But
it's a
I
hard
took
name.
a look at him.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a guy out of Duke, I think it is, but he's got this very similar skill set to Tony and Wandale, and he's a
Right.
shorter guy. He's like 5'10". So they're like three guys ahead of him who are bigger and more talented. If we can get one of those guys, great, but don't like count on it. And she also mentioned centers. There are a couple of centers out there that are, that's their position, and I would be excited to get one of those guys the later rounds. I'm not talking about first or second, but by the way, I'm having Linderbaum pains. I really am. Just listening to him,
Yeah.
listening to him, on the Ravens, humble, working hard, just continue.
A lot of Giants fans wanted Linderbaum. I would have loved Linderbaum if he fell to the second round or if we traded back up into the first, but into the back end, I would have loved Linderbaum.
Right.
I mean, I know he's undersized and people pointed at that, and I don't know how he did week one. I have no idea, but he was.
He did okay. He listen. He made errors, but he owned up to them. And what are you going to do? It's it's his first game in the NFL, and they asked him, "Hey, what did you think of of your first game?" And he just kind of got flustered. He was like, "Well, I made some mistakes, but I'm gonna, that's what's gonna happen." It's my first, it's my first game in the NFL. So, but in terms of and I'm still nervous about Aaron Robinson when he comes back. No, I know. But what I'm saying, he had an appendix, that just sounds weird to me. That all of a sudden he had an appendectomy. I hope he's okay. Because if it's that sudden, that means it might have been like, I don't think it ruptured. We would have heard that, but it was like an emergency thing. But in terms of the corners, I haven't heard of these guys before, so we'll see. And
Cordell Flott's going to start the third round pick this year. He got the start.
He is going to start. Okay.
Yeah, Cordell Flott, which surprised me a little bit. I thought they'd go with the veteran, but they're going to give it to the kid.
Good. I mean, nothing. You got to see what this kid has.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, if he gets cooked a couple of times, then you do what you got to do. But,
well, I think you're going to help him. I think they'll have safety help on that side. They have to,
right?
Especially going up against Robbie Anderson. He's a guy that could burn you, right? We saw it last week. He caught a 75-yard touchdown. So that's definitely going to be a weakness and something that we're going to be focused on as Giants going in.
Jackson Smith Najiba. And that guy, if we could get him, great. But, he's probably going to be drafted.
Oh, he's going early. He's going early. Yeah. And I think he's hurt. I was actually watching the Ohio State game a bit before I went live. I don't think he played. Let me take a quick look. I know he's been hurt. He didn't play last week. And Marvin Harrison Jr. Oh, he did play today, but he's still limited, I guess. He only had 2 catches, 33 yards. Marvin Harrison Jr. had a great game last week. I was watching the Ohio State game tonight. He's got 102 yards and 2 touchdowns. I don't know if he's a junior, though. You can't come out until maybe he is. I don't know. He's a sophomore, so he's not eligible.
I think he is because I was checking for next year, and he was listed as one of the
possible. Okay.
Yeah, so, we'll see. But, again, you have to check this guy's injury history, and if he's off the field a lot, then
he was a big bang. Oh, I'm sorry.
Congratulations for your weight loss there, Glock.
Oh yeah. I wanted to shout out Wolf. A couple of you guys made me feel good.
Getting stealth. Everybody's like saying how. Now, personally, I still think I'm pregnant with a cheeseburger, but whatever.
A couple of you guys reached out to me on Twitter after you saw I lost weight, and you asked me for some suggestions and how I lost it. And I guess Glock's Wolf was one of them. He says, Tane, ever since we spoke, I'm 15 pounds down. I was 229. Now I'm 214. Thanks for the advice. Hey, man, listen, I'm anybody in the chat right now that maybe, a couple of tips that I told people on Twitter that asked me. First off, it's cut and dry. The most important thing is count your calories. You don't exceed a certain caloric intake and exercise, right? That's basic. But things that I do to
water, I mean, I'm drinking a soda right now, but it's very rare
Yeah.
that I actually do it. Drink a ton of water. That
Of course.
helps.
Of course.
Hydrate.
But
I was a soda machine, so.
But I'm going to tell you like some things that I do, because when I go to the gym, and I haven't really included the weight yet, I plan to soon. But when I go to the gym, I find the treadmill very boring, like very boring. I hate it, right? But that's what I've been using. I've been doing a treadmill routine that I saw on YouTube that's very popular. It's called the 3-12-30 incline to 3. I'm sorry, speed of 3, incline to 12, 30 minutes. I've been doing it for 60 minutes though, and I've altered the speed just so I don't get bored. But one thing that I do is I watch it along with a sports game, whether it be baseball, football, tennis, and I play along with the game. When I say I play along with the game, if a guy makes an out, I up the speed a little bit, or I up the incline a little bit. I'll be on a 3 incline, I'll up it to 4. And it just keeps me mentally focused. I don't get bored, whether if it's tennis, because I was watching some of the U.S. Open when I would do it. When a guy scores a point, I will up the speed or I'll up the incline. It just makes it so I'm more engaged. That's what I do. And before you know it, you burn 700 or 800 calories an hour. That's what I do.
I gotta run to the time clock, so I'm gonna lose some pounds that way. But thanks for having me on. I want a couple other guys to get on anyway. But yeah, run into the time clock. That saves some time too. So,
all right, buddy. Thank you so much for coming on, man. I appreciate it.
Go Giants. I hope everybody has fun. You have fun with, and I'll be able to watch it. Given the fact that it's not a night show or a night game, I'll be able to watch
1 o'clock. Hopefully I see you if I don't see you in the stream, hopefully I see you afterwards. Enjoy the game.
Yep. See you guys.
Right, be good. And that was independent. Jeremy, we got to get you on, man. The beard. What's going on, man?
Hey, brother. How you doing?
He's got his LT jersey on.
Hey, I had to throw the Thibodeau in the back there because I know that's what you got. And I have to say, man, I'm superstitious about jerseys. Yeah. I never buy jerseys of current players. I haven't done it since I had Dave Brown, Danny Cannell, Kent Graham jerseys. I'm like, I got to stop buying these quarterback jerseys. So I never got Kerry Collins jersey. I love that you got Kerry's. He actually was better than Dave Brown, Danny Cannell, and all them guys, man. I bought Kayvon this year because I'm a West Coast guy, I live in Alaska. Like it's like, I gotta get Kayvon, and then and I always buy hats. Like this year's sideline hat and stuff. I gotta do this. Is a shout out to LPG, man, because he does that guy can wear wigs. He should. If I could have anything from that dude, I would love his hair, man. I would take his hair in a heartbeat. So, but I rep the Kayvon in the back for you with the Deadpool because I know that's the jersey you got this year. I actually got this one and the blue one, the regular blue. So for the first time ever, I bought a current player's jersey and for as long as I could remember.
Oh, so you got 2 different Kayvon jerseys?
Yeah, I bought 2 this year. Kind of being, I'm not going to games like you guys, though, man. Like I can save a little bit of money and throw some money on a jersey. It's a little more expensive to leave Alaska and go to a game. So
I just can't
wait to go to a game, but I will tell you, if I go to a road game or a home game, I am definitely going to meet up with you, Bad Dog, of course, the Shakedown guys, hopefully. The chosen one goes to a few games here and there. Most of the Shakedown guys haven't been either, but anyway, shout out those guys. But I'm very excited. I hope we beat the crap out of Faker Mayfield. I can't stand that guy. I think he's a shit talking bitch. Sorry. I mean, I'll keep it PG. I really would love to see that guy get sacked a bunch of times. And I got to shout out my boy, Big Dash. He is such a fan of Quincy Roche. I hope Quincy Roche has like 2 sacks because I know Kayvon's not going to play. Probably no Ojulari. So I would love to see some of those guys. I mean, Roche's been kind of toiling in the practice squad for a couple of years. I think he's alreys been a backup for the Giants. So I would really love to see those guys,
They might have. Maybe I missed. Is Roche still on the roster? Or is he on the practice?
Yeah, he played in the game against
Tennessee. I know he did last week.
Yeah, I think so, man. I think they haven't. Well, shoot, man. The stuff changes so quick now.
I know that's what I'm
all onto the information. I think he's still there. I would expect him to play. I mean, Russell Reed in the chat says he's still there, so hopefully he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, I don't know if because like you said, they moved these guys back and forth from the practice squad. So. It was fun chatting back with you today about the college games too, because I'm not a big college fan, but I've had McAfee doing college because I'm a big supporter of him.
So he's doing College Game Day, and it was electric to see. I actually served with a colonel who went to Appalachian State. So we used to talk about that Michigan upset all the time, and he was proud as shit of it. Like, and so I know Texas A&M, and I actually have some really close friends here who all like Texas A&M alums, and they're like diehard alums. And I mean, dude, that's got to be the biggest upset I can remember. Like an SEC team that's picked to be. I mean, I saw a lot of people pick Texas A&M to be in the Final Four of college football. They got beat by App State. And App State barely beat Troy today. So I know I messaged you, hey, that Purdue-Syracuse game was pretty good because my wife
was a good game. That was a good
my
game.
wife is a Syracuse alum, so I kind of root for Syracuse a little bit. And did you message me? I'm sorry, am I a little loud? Oh, no, you didn't. Okay. Anyway, that I did not watch the App State Troy game until the last few minutes, and I was like, oh my God, this is epic. And then to win with like 2 seconds left, like you gotta love games like that. So that's what makes it college game.
There was definitely a good games today, but when you looked at the college scoreboard, like, and I think this was kind of
how can you watch a 49-7 game? Like I get if you're a Georgia Bulldogs fan, okay, fine. But just to me, like the competitive,
I'm going to tell you how you can. The only way I would ever be interested in a 49-0 game is if I bet. If I bet it. If I bet it, like if you have
the over, no, you're right, man. I just never got
if Georgia was a 44-point favorite, you're interested, right? But outside of that, of course.
If they were a 44-point favorite, you got a bad beat, brother, because you lost. They won by 43 or whatever because they won 49-7.
Yeah,
right. So they were 42. So if you had a 44-point favorite, they got a touchdown. I saw Michigan I did hear a stat of Michigan that they had scored 50 for the first time ever, like 4. And the thing I was going to tell you too, man, because I know you got other people and I want to give other people opportunities to talk. But I've propped you up about your weight loss, and I've been doing fasting and stuff myself. When I retired, I got up to like 240, and then, I've lost weight. But when we would train here in Alaska for the run, when I did the run for the Army, you always need to do an incline of like 4 or greater for it to equate to like real time on the street, like real running. Does that make sense?
Right.
I recommend anybody, if you're doing a treadmill, do not have it on anything less than like 2 incline.
Right.
Like that 4 is probably, it just depends on the brand and stuff.
The incline, I mean, I when I first started doing the incline, it was a little bit intimidating. Now it's nothing. Like you get used to it. It's nothing.
You need to do it because I know you do a lot of actual walking. We all do, right? If you're not in a wheelchair or anything like that. But it will not equate to real. Like I know people are like, I could run 12-minute 2 miles on a treadmill, but if it's not on an incline, it won't factor into real life, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. No,
a lot of times you can't use your time from the treadmill. Is all I'm saying.
It's always easier on a treadmill than it would be outside. You got to, like you said, the incline makes it more challenging. But I got a question to ask you.
Yeah,
give me a final score tomorrow.
So I keep having 28-23 in my head. I think Giants win 28-23. I really want to see. But you know what, man? I'm my man Shakes talked to the guy from Carolina today. They could not stop the run. He was at the game against Cleveland. They could not stop the run. Now, granted, they have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt, probably the best running back tandem in the NFL. No question about it. But I will say this. The Giants need to focus on running the ball a lot. The guy said he did not understand why they even tried to throw against him. He said they could not stop Chubb. I think he got 13 yards on his first carry. This was a Panthers fan. I wish it's Primetime Carolina podcast or whatever. Shout out that guy. I heard him talk a little bit about, he was really realistic about, he thinks that they, I'll be the first to say I would love to forget the McAdoo era of the New York Giants. I would also love to shove it up that guy's butt during the game.
More than anybody. I can stand McAdoo.
Yeah, just a total arrogant jackwagon that I thought was not a great coach. I think Matt Rule is kind of cut from that same cloth. I was really happy the Giants didn't get him and thought I was one of the guys that thought Joe Judge was going to be good for the Giants. Unfortunately, I know LPG was on board tonight with him, said he liked him. So I don't feel as left out, but I'll just say And that was awesome. By the way, Chris, man, amazing. LPG. And I will donate $100 the next time he does a charity for Duncan or whatever, especially if it's for law enforcement. Or that's very close to my heart, man. I know I was military, but there's a lot of stuff for the military. A lot of law enforcement stuff gets lost in the wayside. And big fan of like the first responder bills and stuff that like John Stewart has promoted for 9/11 victims and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Super close to my heart as a Giants fan, even though I haven't lived in New York for a very, 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 very long time. Will always be a piece of my heart. New York City. I love that city. I love the people in that city. I think it's a great city. I think it's the greatest city in the world. And it's got great people like you there. So I just, like for sure, man, I follow you. I follow him. I'll definitely pay close, but I didn't know he did like charity drives. And yes, it is a Stitch Spider LT jersey. Zoo, I have two. That was actually my gift to myself this year too, was another LT jersey.
Nice, man.
Yeah. So you can never go wrong with LT because he's the greatest of all time. And I always say so. Yeah, there's no question. But
next time he does a charity, I'm definitely gonna get involved. I know he does a charity softball game. I just don't know. I don't know when he does it typically, but maybe when he does that, I definitely want to get involved with him and help for a good cause. So
one final thought, I do want to get to a game with you guys. Chicago would be awesome because my wife's a Bears fan, but she kind of hasn't cared about football in a while because the Bears have been kind of woefully bad like the Giants. So I wished I would have known you were going to that game because I would have tried to go, but I'm not going to be able to make it because I think I'm going to Vegas for that week. But I am going to try to go see a Raiders game. And I'm glad to hear that you guys said the tickets were expensive. So I'm trying to go with a retired Sergeant Major buddy of mine. And he's like a Vietnam era guy, but he's a huge Raiders fan. So I'd love to go. And so anyway, I keep updating us, man, because I definitely want to go to a game there with you guys. I'd love to meet you. I'd love to meet Bad Dog. Of course, I'd like to get some of the Shakedown guys there too. But LPG, he would be a great guy to meet, man. My favorite thing from Super Bowl was him. The Super Bowl when we won, he had that 18-1 sign ready to go. And that him and Antonio Pierce going 18-1 New York Giants style are like my most favorite memories from that 2007 Super Bowl. And I thought we could win, and I wish I would have bet everything I owned because I think they were 13-1 in the Super Bowl.
Well, I know they were like 12-point underdogs or something.
Yeah, I think it was 13-1 was the odds of them winning. So if you bet $1,000, you won 13,000. I mean, that's a pretty. You don't see those type of odds anymore.
I mean, it's one of the greatest upsets in the history of sports.
I think it's the greatest Super Bowl ever, and the Giants have played in 3 of them. The one against the Bills, 1-point win. Jeff Hostetler gets stacked by Bruce Smith, Hall of Famer, one of the best defensive ends ever. He should have lost the ball, but he held on to it. He got the old arm rake, but didn't fumble it. So still to this day, I don't know how we won that game. Plus, we had to beat the 49ers on a last-second kick because George Seifert ran the ball the whole game, and it was awesome. And then, of course, the 2 Giants Super Bowls against the Patriots are just awesome. The one where they were undefeated is better, but I actually like the other game with the Manningham catch, and I mean I feel like that's even a better catch than the Tyree catch is awesome. Like I don't want to take anything from Tyree. He also had a touchdown catch in that game, but it's like that Manningham catch was incredible. So
the Manningham play was a better play, and it was more on Eli. But I just want to say thank you so much for coming on. Appreciate
Chris. Thank you, man. I appreciate you.
Enjoy the game tomorrow.
Let's go Big Blue.
Get off to a 2-0 start, and I'll definitin talk to you soon, buddy.
All right, Chris. Thank you, man.
Be good, Jeremiah. Jeremiah's a really good guy. I was just thinking as he was talking about, in terms of the New York Giants pulling upsets, you think back to our Super Bowl runs, whether it be the Super Bowls themselves or whether it be the NFC Championship games. And I don't know this for certain. I'm assuming in 86 we were favored. We may not have been favored against the Niners. I think they played them in the 86 championship game. May not have been favored in that. We were certainly favored in the Super Bowl. But in 90, we were definitely not favored against the Buffalo Bills. Then in our later Super Bowl runs, we were not favored in any of the games leading up to the Super Bowl. We were not favored, I don't think, against the Bucs. It was on the road. We were not favored against the Dallas Cowboys. We were not obviously favored against the Green Bay Packers, and we were not favored against the undefeated New England Patriots. And then the second time around, I want to say we were probably slightly favored in the first round against the Falcons. We were definitely huge underdogs against the Packers, who were 15-1 that year. And then in the championship game, I would probably say we were a slight underdog against the Niners. And then I think we might have been either a slight favorite or a slight underdog. Maybe it was a pick'em game against the Patriots. But the majority of our Super Bowls, we have been underdogs and NFC championship games. But the Giants have come out on top in pretty much all of them. I think we're 5-0 in championship games. And obviously we're 4-1 in Super Bowls. So 9-1 combined in those games. The Giants have not gotten there as much as a lot of teams, but they've made it count when they have. MY Giants 26 says, Stairmaster is a cheat for burning calories. Haven't been to the gym in over a month. Since I tore my ACL, get surgery in October, scared I won't be the same. Well, I hope you recover soon. I hope you get better. ACL, that's a long recovery. Obviously, we know that as fans of the Giants with Saquon Barkley and everybody else. Aren't you all favorite tomorrow? Yeah, we are. We're a 2-point favorite. But I'm not the biggest fan of the Stairmaster, but people differ in terms of their preferences. Let's get MVP on the chat, man. What's up, MVP, man? How you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm great. And how are you doing?
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, I just had to make sure we bless chat with this amazing picture of Saquads.
He's back.
All right,
He's
we gotta
back.
keep. I know you're not very superstitious. You know, you're little stitious, but I'm very superstitious. I'm making sure everything's the same. I ate the same dinner tonight. I'm gonna eat the same lunch tomorrow. I'm gonna wear the same Saquon jersey tomorrow. Everything's gonna be the same. I want to make this short and quick for you because I'm tired. And I'm sure you're tired.
You need some sleep. You're going to get ready for the game.
I mean, I've been staying up so long because this week has been so long and so much work. Man, I'm ready for this game, but it can't come any sooner. But what was I going to say? I'm sure you heard that Tony Jefferson and Fabian Moreau came off the practice squad. What kind of impact do you think they're going to have?
Yeah, and I saw somebody in the chat say, and I didn't think he was, but I wanted to make sure. Quincy Roche was not. He is on the practice squad, so he was not called up. So he will not obviously be playing tomorrow. As far as those two, I mean, I think you had to obviously call up Moreau, not just for this week, but probably for the next 2 or 3 weeks, due to the fact that Aaron Robinson is probably going to be out now for at least another couple of games. So that makes sense. And Tony Jefferson, they'll probably, maybe special teams purposes, but I don't think the plan is for those guys to see the field, especially with Belton back now. He didn't play last week. Belton's going to, I think, a full go this week. So unless there's injuries, which there certainly could be, I don't anticipate seeing much of either one of them on the field. Maybe, like I said, maybe in special teams, but I don't think they'll play too much in the game.
Mm-hmm. And speaking to what somebody in the chat just said about Quincy Roche, I mean, they elevated Quincy Roche because Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari weren't going to play. I think because Roche's still on the practice squad, they demoted him. I think one of them might be suiting up tomorrow. What do you think? Still no?
I still think no. They said doubtful, and from everything I heard, Azeez Ojulari was even further away from returning than Thibodeau was. So I don't think either one of them is going to play. They probably felt like, and I think it makes sense, against this team, they need extra DBs more so than edge rushers because it's about coverage. And, of course, they blitz everybody. They could be blitzing DBs as well, but it's about coverage with Christian McCaffrey coming out of the backfield. That's probably why they wanted to call up more DBs because I expect them to have a lot of 3 safety looks tomorrow. So that's probably why they didn't call up Roche this week.
Mm-hmm. And what's this about this Wives guy?
Oh, yeah. Wolves. Tana Conceit already. I'm going to win.
Wolves.
He came on the channel today. I'm doing a weekly picks against the spread going head-to-head against subscribers.
I got to watch that.
Yeah, I'm typically going to do it on like Thursdays or Fridays. This week I got backed up because of my new job. So we did it late in the week. We did it on a Saturday, but it's going to be live. If you beat me when you come on, you got to do every game. You got to pick against the spread. You get a fitted hat. So we'll see. This is the first week I'm doing it. And I think I'm going to kick his ass, but we'll see.
Mm-hmm. All right. I want to give a quick score prediction because I'm very tired. I want to go to sleep.
Let's do it.
I'm feeling I'm not going 28-3 like Independent said, but I think I'll go 24-17.
You like him by 7?
Huh?
You like him by a touchdown?
We win by 7. I think Baker Mayfield's going to put up a fight, but I think ultimately Saquon Barkley, and I think you're right. I think license plate guys was right. Kadarius Toney's going to be a huge factor in this next game. I mean, he has to be. I think Kenny Galladay's going to take the top off. Sterling Shepard, they might be a little scared of Sterling Shepard after seeing what he did last week. So I think Kadarius Toney's going to have a lot of playing time and a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, I mean, if he's a full go and he's healthy, I think he could have a huge game. The question is he? And we'll see, because he was questionable because he kind of re-aggravated or supposedly aggravated the hamstring on Thursday. But if he's a full go, I see no reason why he can't have a big game, because you have to figure they're going to pay a lot of extra attention to Saquon Barkley, and you would think naturally if he's going to get favorable coverage, he's the guy that that you'd probably look to target the most, being that he's a quick separator. And being that our offensive line can't hold up too much, he's kind of the guy that can create quick separation, especially with Wan'Dale Robinson out. So if Tony's a full go, yeah, I agree with you. I just don't know if he will be. But if he is, yeah, I could see him having a big game tomorrow.
Mm-hmm. What do you think the score is going to be?
I'm going to go closer than you. I am going to pick the Giants. I'm going to go 24-21. I think it'll be a really close game down to the wire, much like last week. But I am going to pick the Giants. I think they narrowly win.
Man, I'm playing against Christian McCaffrey this week too. I mean, I got a lot of
in fantasy
stuff with fantasy, man. Last week I had Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley on my team, and now this week I'm going against Christian McCaffrey. I gotta love it. I can't catch a break on either side.
Yeah, I mean, McCaffrey is definitely a guy I worry about a ton, because we know our weakness is coverage, especially in terms of running backs and tight ends with our linebackers. They're not good in coverage, so he's definitely a mismatch, and it'll be interesting to see how Wink tries to combat that, whether it be – I think what he's going to do, you're going to see McKinney up in the box a lot, and I think he's going to mirror McCaffrey. That's what I think he's going to try to do. Yeah, that's what I think he's going to try to do. I think he's going to mirror McCaffrey coming out of the backfield as a wide receiver. If it's not him, maybe it'll be Holmes. I don't know, but I think I don't think they're going to pair up a linebacker against him, because he'll tear him to shreds. I think you'll see a lot of 3 safety sets tomorrow, because they're going to need more speed on the field with a guy like McCaffrey, with a guy like Robbie Anderson, who certainly poses a threat in terms of his straight line speed as well. So I think you'll see a lot of sets with an extra DB out on the field.
Mm. All right, well, I'm going to call it quits. I'm going to go to sleep. I might listen to you in the background, but thanks for having me on, Chris.
Get some sleep, man. Hey, I'm glad you came on, because it's good luck. You went on last week. We won.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hope it. Let's hope it.
That's why I was begging for it. I was begging for it. Like, please let me do this. Let's chat with this amazing. I'll let you guys have another quick look at this beautiful man.
There you go. Let's go, yeah. Saquon, man. Get it today. Get it tomorrow, man. I'm excited for him, man. But thank you so much for calling in.
Mm-hmm. All right, thanks. See ya.
Be good. Nico says, "Hey, Chris, missed the talk on 26. My gut tells me he doesn't. It doesn't matter how he does. It's just more future picks for Joe. I don't know. I have no idea. I can't speak for Joe Shane. And it's a situation that I much like Daniel Jones. I think it's a situation where we have to let the season play out, see how Saquon does, see what the market is for him. And then that's something I'll analyze in the offseason. But I definitely see a scenario where he could be back. But obviously a lot has to go right. And most importantly, he needs to stay on the football field. And we'll see if he can for a full 17 games. The ability's always been there. Ronnie, thank you very much. The Mets won. Thank God. Yeah, I know they were. I was keeping up with the scores. I was live, and yeah, they won 5-1. Only had 5 hits today. How did that? Real quick, let me see how they scored. 5-1. Escobar. Oh yeah, I saw that. Escobar at the 3-run homer. That was before I went live. He was obviously the big contributor today. In terms of the pitching, Bassett had a good start, bounced back because he was really bad his last time out. So big win for the Mets. I think we only got 15 or 16 games left, but we only have a 1-game lead because unfortunately, I'm pretty sure, I'm going to double check because they were winning. Yep, the Braves won again. So the Braves aren't doing us any favors. Mets got to keep putting the pedal to the metal and keep finding ways to win ball games. And we're going to have a big Braves series coming up. I'll definitely call in a couple of games for that, but hopefully the Mets can keep winning. I appreciate you so much for popping in and yeah, let's go Mets. Hopefully we can keep it up. And let's get, we got 2 more. Hey, Sam, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, Chris?
What's going on, man? Good to talk to you again, man.
Nice to talk to you again, too. So a thought that I had when I think like everyone did when we saw Flott was starting this week was I thought we were screwed, right? But now looking at it, it makes a lot more sense why he's playing. I think he's going to stay on Robbie Anderson all game. Reason being, Flott during his combine ran a 4.44 flat or 4.39, and he's also 6'2". So yeah. I think that's Robbie Anderson's not going to break you off with anything. He's more of a deep threat. I think that they're hoping. they're hoping that he can mirror him all game and hold him, seeing as he's just as athletic as him. And I don't know how you feel about this, but I think first play of the game, I want to play action deep shot. I think that they're going to be playing run heavy, and I think that right out of the gate, I want a deep play, try to catch them off guard.
I'd be completely open to it. But at the same time, I kind of want to show them, no matter what they try to do, that I could still establish a ground game. And then it'll kind of open up the passing game as the game evolves. So I'd be completely open to taking a shot for sure on first down, but you also want to stay ahead of the stick. So I understand both sides of it, but I definitely think the New York Giants have to establish that ground game much earlier than they did last week. They can't fall behind by 13, 14 points in this game. And the strength of this offense, especially early on in the year, with the deficiencies on the interior of that offensive line with Barkley in the backfield, is Saquon Barkley. Whether that be through the air or on the ground. But I think they got to get Saquon going early on. But if you feel like there's an opportunity with a quick play action deep shot, I'm open to it. Like you said, they're going to be cheating up, trying to put 8 in the box. And if you do hit them over the top early on, that'll assist you with the run game, right? Because then, it makes them be a little bit, it keeps them honest in terms of, playing off the line of scrimmage. So I wouldn't be against it. But they definitely need to find a way to establish that ground game tomorrow for sure. So I wouldn't be opposed to going about it either way. Maybe use the pass to set up the run. Either way, they're going to have to be a very balanced in terms of offense tomorrow. Don't expect this team to go out there and throw 40 passes.
Yeah, I think the game plan has to stay the same as week 1, but after we came out of halftime. The second half game plan is, I think, how we have to play this. I think Saquon needs a minimum of 20 carries this week, and I think we need to run the ball at least 30 times with including the backups running it.
And I think we will. Last week we only had 21 pass attempts, and let me get the stats. I'm just curious. Because obviously we know Jones had like 6 carries by himself, and then obviously Barkley I think had 18, and then Breida I think had 5. So they were right around that 30 mark last week. But let me take a quick look. Last week we had 32 carries. Yeah, Barkley had 18, Jones had 6, Breida had 5, Tony had 2, and Richie James had 1. So yeah, we had 32 rush attempts last week, 21 pass attempts, and I'd probably expect a similar number this week. Maybe a little bit closer. Maybe it'll be like 30 and 26 or 27. But I definitely think we're going to be at least 50-50 in terms of rush attempts and pass attempts. And one key area where the New York Giants need to get much better at in this game, where we really struggled week 1 against Tennessee, our third down conversion rate was really bad. We were only 2 of 10. And you're not going to win a whole lot of football games in the National Football League when, you're only converting 20% of the time on third down. So we got to get much better in that area this week as well.
Yeah. I know you have a lot of people. I had one more question. Who do you think, other than Saquon Barkley this week, is going to be the X factor and the reason why we should win, or if we win, why we do win?
Well, I'll take Daniel Jones out of it because he's obvious, right? Because he's the quarterback. All right. Good question. Okay, all right. I'm gonna go with. I'll give you 2. I'll give you one on the defensive side. I'll give you one on the offensive side. I think Cordell Flott is a major X factor in this game, being that he's paired up on Robbie Anderson. I definitely think he's gonna have a lot of help. So even if he does get toasted a bit, I think they'll have safeties over the top helping him. But he can't get completely destroyed throughout this game. Now, a lot of that's going to come down to the New York Giants generating quick pressure and getting the ball out of Baker Mayfield's hands. But he's a big X factor in this game. Obviously, an unproven rookie third-round pick. He's being thrown in against one of the more explosive receivers in the NFL. So that's a tough matchup for him. So I definitely think he's a guy you're definitely going to have your eyes on tomorrow on the defensive side. And then on the offensive side, I'm actually going to go with whoever, and I think it's going to be multiple guys. Obviously everybody's going to go with the weapons because they're the guys that get yards and score touchdowns. But I think it's really important for that left guard spot to play much better in this game in terms of pass protection. They were getting blown up, whether it was Azudu, whether it was Bredesen, whoever it was. We have to be much better in terms of pass protection with that interior offensive line in this game. I think we will be better. I don't know if we'll be much better. We'll see. Just for the simple reason we're not going against nearly as talented of a defensive tackle as we were last week. So I think we'll be better in that aspect, but I think that's it. That's a huge X factor in this game as well. Just the overall performance of the interior offensive line when we drop back to throw the football, because you got to give Daniel Jones some time. So yeah, I'll mention those as 2 X factors in this game.
Who do you prefer at left guard? Because I don't think we could sustain having musical chairs all season long. And Azudu looked nasty in the run game last week. Even though he didn't look good in the pass game at all, I think we can give him a break seeing as his first game, welcome to the NFL, is going against one of the best DTs in the league.
Yeah, I think they're probably, if you're asking what I think they're going to do, and then I'll give you my opinion on both those players. Last week, Bredesen had 33 snaps and Azudu had 27. Going into this game, I'm going to guess it's going to either be 50-50 or it flips, where Azudu gets like 33 and Bredesen gets 27. I think Azudu's going to get a little bit more of a role this week, if I had to guess. Neither one of them was good in pass protection. Azudu was actually the lineman that whiffed on the block where Jones fumbled, where he got completely destroyed, a second into his drop back. So neither one of them showed out in terms of pass protection. But like I said, you were going up against an incredible interior defensive lineman. But I will say Azudu impressed me more than I thought he would when I got a chance to watch back Bobby's breakdown. And so did Feliciano, actually, believe it or not. Feliciano actually did a pretty good job, at least with some of the plays that Bobby broke down in terms of getting to the second level, pulling on certain plays. But Azudu, when I watched him on the film breakdown he is very athletic for an interior offensive lineman, and he's very powerful. Of course, he had that pancake block, which was kind of his highlight play of the game when Saquon Barkley scored the touchdown, when Andrew Thomas and Azudu opened up a hole the size of the Grand Canyon. But I like his upside. He obviously still has a lot of growing to do. He's far from a finished product. He's not a starting caliber offensive lineman yet, but I see the potential for him to do that. And I think the Giants, they're going to slowly integrate him more and more into the offense. And I don't expect him to be a full-time starter yet, but I think he will be at some point this year. I think he's going to be the full-time starting guard at some point this year.
Yeah, isn't it great having Andrew Thomas that we could put on an island? People were trashing the pick, and now I think this year he ends off as a top 5 left tackle in the league.
I already think he is a top 5 left tackle in the league. I think he's already an All-Pro. I don't know. I'm not saying he's going to win the All-Pro. That's tough to win that. You got to be the best player at your position, but he is an All-Pro caliber tackle at this point in time. I think he's already there. The only question with him is, can he stay healthy, right? Because he's been dinged up a bit with injuries his first couple of years in the league. But in terms of ability, in terms of talent, and I only think he's going to get better. I mean, he's every game it seems like he gets better, which is great. How many years did we have to worry about the blindside protector? It doesn't seem like we got to worry about that much longer. So he's been incredible.
Yeah, I remember a couple of years back we played the Houston Texans, and I thought our starting tackle got hurt, and I thought the backup did a great job, only giving up 3 sacks to J.J. Watt back then. It was bad.
Yeah, I mean, he has slow beginnings, but you expect that, right, from a rookie. So he's grown, and I think Giants fans just needed to have patience, and I think it's going to be the same thing with Neal. You're going to have games this year where Neal gets completely destroyed, and I think his fans got to realize there's going to be growing pains. And, he'll get there. He's going to be good.
Even though he didn't give up a sack, PFF had Evan Neal graded terribly last week. They had him at like a 40 overall grade, even though he only gave up 1 pressure. They didn't think he played well at all.
Yeah, I watched some of the film breakdowns for Bobby. He definitely whiffed on some blocks. And during the game, you noticed it. I think if I'm not mistaken, I think they had like a 5-yard loss on a carry where Neal completely whiffed on a block. So he wasn't perfect, but he's a rookie. And I don't expect him to be perfect. I expect him to have growing pains, much like Andrew Thomas did. But I have no doubts Evan Neal's going to reach a level where he's a very good tackle. And I think the Giants are in good hands there on both sides of the line.
All right. I'll get out of here. I know you have more people on here waiting.
Yeah, I got one more, and then we're going to close it out. But Sam, man, thank you so much for calling in, and enjoy the game tomorrow, man. Give me a final score.
I think it's going to be a lot higher scoring than people think. I think it's going to be, I'm going to say 30-33 Giants.
Wow, wow, that's really high scoring.
Yeah, I don't know. I think both defenses are going to give up a lot of yards, especially to the running back. Not so much Christian McCaffrey on the ground, but I think he's going to kill us through the air. I don't think we could match up very well against him. I think we have to keep McKinney shadowing him all game.
Yep.
And with the unexperienced secondary like we have, other than Adoree Jackson, because he's been great. He's been a shutdown corner his last few games. but I think that we're going to get through the air. Both sides are going to get killed.
Yeah, Adoree Jackson has been very, in my opinion, underrated by a lot of Giants fans. He was actually very good week 1 also. He's a good player. Adoree Jackson actually worked out to be a pretty good signing. Just hopefully knock on wood he stays healthy. But he ended up being a pretty good signing by Gettleman last year. Not many others were good, but he was a pretty good signing. But Sam, I'm going to let you go. High scoring game from Sam. Thank you for calling in, and I'm glad you did because last week you called in and we won. So we're going to keep this. We're going to keep this going. So thank you so much for calling in. Let's get 2-0 tomorrow.
Have a good one. See you tomorrow, man.
All right, be good, Sam. And NY Giants 26's hot take: Dane Belton gets an interception along with Love. So you think we get 2 picks tomorrow? I could see Baker throwing a couple picks. I don't know who's going to get him, but I could see him throwing a couple picks tomorrow, especially with some potential deflected balls. He nearly had a couple of fumbles. He did fumble, a couple of lost fumbles last week. He dropped the ball, hit the ground 4 times last week. So we'll see if the Giants can create a couple of turnovers. If they do, I think we got a really good chance to win this game. And we got our final caller. He was the final caller last time, so we're going back to him as the final caller to close it out. I think he was the final caller. What's going on, Nets?
Hey, Chris. Not much. I mean, spent the last couple of days doing some going out for meals on my birthday weekend.
Happy birthday, man.
Well, it was yesterday. Went for breakfast with my mom at Cracker Barrel. Today I went to a Cuban joint with my brother.
Glad to hear it.
As for tomorrow, this could be a little dicey. I mean, granted, when we played Baker the first time in 20, he basically killed us with what he had in Cleveland. This time, it's not the case.
No, it's not the same team. I mean, he doesn't have the Browns' offensive line.
He doesn't have the same weapons he had in Cleveland. That in Carolina, he doesn't have the same weapons they had in Cleveland.
I will say though, in terms of the weapons, they have good weapons here. It's just, but they don't have their offensive line is not even close to what Cleveland had.
Especially when you consider the coach is essentially a fox that was let into the hen house in Matt Rule.
Right. Nearly our coach, by the way.
True. Thank God we didn't get him. But as an on-off Panthers fan, I'm a little mad this guy hasn't gotten Carolina more than 5 wins a damn year since showing up.
Yeah, because you live in Carolina.
Yeah.
I think he's on his way out. How do you think we stack up against the Panthers tomorrow?
I mean, we should stack up competently, but again, we cannot afford a slow, like everyone else has been saying. I know it's beating a dead horse. We cannot afford a slow start out of the gate. We got to establish the run game right out off the bat.
I agree with you. I don't think you get too cute in this game. I think last week I came out and said I think we were going to have to throw a bit because I didn't think we were going to be able to establish a run. Against that Tennessee defense, and Barkley was incredible. Our run blocking was really good, and I don't think there's any reason to get away from it. I don't care if they're going to stack the box. You stick with what you do best. And early in the season, I think the Giants have to be a run heavy team.
Let's also keep in mind since 2012, Panthers have won 3 of the last 5 matchups between the two.
But we won the last one.
True, but I mean, I was at 2 of those 3 losses.
Yeah.
The 38-0 ass killing we got in 13, and that heartbreaker Gano gave us an 18.
Oh, you were at the 63-yarder?
Yep.
Oh man, that's a tough one. That was a tough one, man. I was actually at a wedding that day, but I remember I was watching it. We were in a bar, I was watching it, but that was a tough one.
Yeah, I was basically praying that Gano wouldn't hit it, saying no, and then he fucking hit it.
I'm sure you're excited about the Mets tonight. We got to win.
Yeah, now our magic number to clinch a playoff spot at least is down to 3. But I was hoping the Phillies would give more of a fit tonight to Philadelphia. And last night I did a bit of a rant after Thompson basically screwed the pooch by bringing in Dominguez, and he basically let Atlanta blow the doors off on him. Tonight they let Acuna get on them out of the gate almost immediately. I mean, yeah. The Phillies fought back, but still they fell short.
All we can do is win the game. All we can do is win the games on the schedule. And I think as I look at the Mets schedule, I think we both agree with this probably. It's going to come down to that series in Atlanta. And we got
Can I call the game with you on the 1st?
What did you say?
Can I call the game with you on the 1st?
If I don't even know if I'm going to be available. But if I am, I will. Let me take a quick look at the Mets schedule. The 1st
of October.
That's an Atlanta game, Saturday. If I'm available, I would, if I do it on my channel, maybe I'll bring you on, at least for part of the game. Maybe I'll bring you on
That's mostly because that's the last game I've been able to cover. I mean, I understand you were distracted by the Chief Charger game Thursday when I asked if you would be willing to do the one with the pot against the Pirates recently.
Yeah, maybe. I don't want to say definitely, but if I'm available, yeah, I'll do it. Whether it be on maybe I'll go on your channel, but yeah, I'll try to do one of those games with you.
Okay. As
All
for
right, buddy.
how things are going to pan out tomorrow, I'm going to say 27-17 Giants.
10-point win. I like it. I like your confidence, and hopefully the Giants find a way to get a win.
I mean, it won't be as sloppy as last year's 25-3 win, or so I hope. Because even you can admit last year's win was kind of sloppy.
Yeah, I don't care if it's sloppy or not. I just want to get a win. I'd like a win where we don't have to even stress at the end of the game. That'd be nice. But if you win, what is that?
One thing, in a couple of weeks, you and Bad Dog are going to the game against Chicago. I can't get that game because I'm going to be stuck doing.
I don't think Bad Dog's going. I don't think Bad Dog's going.
Well, I can't get that game, so I can't be his tag along because I'm going to be stuck doing Washington, Dallas down here.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm also more or less region locked to the Commanders as I am to the Falcons and the Panthers.
Right. Yeah, it's unfortunate for you. You don't get a lot of the Giants games there.
Yeah.
But Mets, I'm gonna let you go just because I got to get some sleep.
All right. Good night, Chris.
You got the Giants by 10, and hopefully you're right, buddy. Be good, buddy.
All right. I was almost right with the Tennessee game last week.
You were, and hopefully you're right this week. Be good, Mets. Thanks for calling in. Happy birthday.
Thanks. Night, Chris.
Good night. Dyer, man, thank you very much. Tana, please, in capital letters, rewatch the stream after watching the chat after your first guest. All right. After my first guest. Okay. I will try my best. I don't know what you're referencing, but I'll try my best. It's hard for me to look at the chat when I'm like you just said, when I have video callers. So okay. I'll take a look after when I get an opportunity. Thank you, Dyer. And NY Giants 26 says, want to say firsthand, I was getting argued with by one of the subs when he made an unnecessary comment about another person talking to you. Oh, so that's what Dyer Giants fan is referencing. Listen, I appreciate my mods to keep things civil. I don't know what happened. So if something was out of line, I appreciate you guys for cleaning it up. I'll take a look at it after the fact. But yeah, I didn't see it. Whatever it was, I didn't see it. So if anybody was offended by anything that happened in the chat, I apologize. I don't like that in my when I'm live. But yeah. But I'm sorry. If anybody was offended, I'm sorry. But let's see. Mods are great. Trying to the mods are great. The mods are great. Let's see. Griff says this YouTube moderating ain't a joke. Be prepared to die behind it. But guys, it's 11:08. I'm excited for the game tomorrow. Glad to see some of my guys from my Discord in here. Jake's in here. Griff's in here. Bigger Mike's in here. Mets, of course, called in. Goat's in here. Thank you to everybody for being here. All, of course, amazing guy. All my great supporters. Trizzy's in here. NY Giants 26, man. Thank you. He says, wasn't trying to start trouble, just didn't want any problems. I tried to keep it positive. We were all Giants fans in the end. Yeah, like I said, I guess I'll look it back. I don't know what happened. But I apologize if anybody got upset. You got it, Jared and Junior, man. Thank you very much. You think we got a good chance? Yes, I think we got a very good chance. In my preview video, I picked against us just for the simple reason that I'm very superstitious. I picked against us week 1. But if I was betting on the game and I was not a Giants fan, I would pick the Giants in this game. Regardless of the injuries we have, I think we can win this game. We're at home. I don't think Carolina is very good. Last week, they got ran on for 220 yards, and they stacked the box against Jacoby Brissett at quarterback. And if they didn't, well, then their coaching staff is moronic. So I have to only assume. And if they couldn't stop the run last week, what makes me think they're going to stop the run this week? So I think Barkley could have a big game, and I think that'll set up the offense. Defense, of course, you worry against Christian McCaffrey, but I think Wink could come out with a good enough game plan to keep their offense in check. I think it's going to be a very close game, but I think the Giants can get out with a win. And at home, I like us. I think we're going to win, but I think it's going to be close. I think it'll be like a 3 or 4 point win, but I do think the Giants will get out of there tomorrow with a win and get to 2-0. I really do. But I mean, who knows? I've been wrong before. Gavin, he says, I love the entertainment talk of sports. I love Gavin. Thank you, Gavin. I appreciate all the support you always show. But guys, we are closing it out. And hopefully tomorrow, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If we win tomorrow, definitely have a post-game video because it's a day game. Not sure if I'll go live at night. We'll see how I feel. But if not, I will 100%, if we win, and only if we win, be streaming the Eagles game on Monday. If we lose, I don't have much of an interest in streaming the Eagles game on Monday. But if we win, I'll stream the Eagles game on Monday. I know a lot of Giants fans will be amped up for that if we're 2-0, them going up against the Vikings. So it'll be cool to kind of recap the Giants game and as we watch the Philadelphia Eagles hopefully lose to the Minnesota Vikings. And yeah, I'm sure I'll go live at night, especially if the Giants win tomorrow. If not, I'll definitely have a post-game video. And I'll be live on this channel this week doing the play-by-play. Fabian, thank you very much. Good night, Dana. And chat, go Giants. Thank you, Fabi, man. I appreciate it. And hopefully the New York Giants get a win. And hopefully we get to stream the Eagles game this week on Monday. If not, well, that means we lost. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to get a win tomorrow, but we'll see. Thank you to everybody for being here. And as always, if you like what you watch, please subscribe. Drop a comment. Maybe give me a little thumbs up. Cheers. Be good. See you guys tomorrow. Let's go Giants.